energy just kind of roaring up as we're getting to look at Urzikstan. Like you said, it is just day one. What is at stake here? Those advanced starting points moving into tomorrow for that Call of Duty Warzone match point. 150, but let's say you come out on top today. Those 40 points are beyond such a good game and can be such a boon to teams that may have struggled over the past couple of months to get to that threshold.
It's such a good shout. I mean, today is so incredibly important, and I think when we think about this game, we are dropping into it. Now's the time to set the tone. Everything you have on the line, folks. It is time.
Y nos vamos a la primera partida del Mundial 2024 desde las Vergas Nevadas. De las Vegas Nevadas. Hostia, todos, ¿sí?
And here we go.
Nukes.
We always want to see what's going to occur, especially with the battle of high-rise nukes. Stubo, Patsuka is already getting mixed.
No, ya
you
cayó,
check
mira.
behind you
Nukes,
Unrational
Patsuka.
has came
Ya nada más le queda un solo güey, se cae.
Welcome to high-rise, folks. As expected,
tiene que ir el huevo,
this is hot to start, and it looks like for the first time in a while that Stubo, Patsuka, and Nukes team catching me wrong into that fight. That is a brutal start for a squad that a lot of folks expected to do fantastic today. Team Vitality having to be off to the races, running through this side of apartments, and I think Dongi, Unrational are hunting their prey.
I was really curious if we were going to see maybe a waving of the white flag to try and determine, hey, we value our life because this is the points race. This is where we just need to acquire as many eliminations as you can. So they're kind of separating a path. Unrational going just towards the north, finishing up that kind of place. But there's so many teams that land over in this quadrant of Urzikstan that you have to be hyper aware of. They all know that that contest is initially happening. And if you separate out too far, Nida can easily run straight into Unrational, but Scummin, good things coming back over.
Yeah, folks, again, the litmus test. Apparently, Unrational and Scummin said, well, the best games we have is when we fly at teams. So already getting into the mix and winning that high-rise spot. We talked to Scummin before the broadcast, and he said, don't worry, we're going back to high-rise and we're going to win it. And apparently that's the case. A massive victory there, but we move to another side of the map. This is C-Town now. This fire station area is an interesting one. There's a lot of teams that like to land on this side of the map as well, especially with a team like Team Fnatic that apparently, didn't make it through this qualifying series, but a lot of their players made it to this stage. A lot of these drop spots are up for grabs, and because of that, a lot of things have changed in the last couple days. We're here with our Impact team, who is apparently doing pretty well so far, looking like they've got a decent amount of resources.
See, I was really curious because I was watching the Pulse Check IRL stream just yesterday, and Shifty was talking about how XTH was willing to land on them over at Pop-Off Power, and they're like, let it be that free elimination that we need to kickstart our World Series of Warzone. He will force them to leave, and quite frankly, they're sitting right next to each other on the stage.
Yeah, and I think the low-risk play there of landing more towards the middle of the map is definitely the way to go rather than heading up to Pop-Up. I can only imagine Pop-Up is all quiet on the northern front of this map, and I think the Falcons are walking away with 40-50K life.
Está arriesgando mucho este güey porque no está jugando una privada.
One of the only other teams that we expected to have a ton of chemistry because of their long storied history as a trio, looking to find a couple freebies in the ocean as folks are rotating out and getting fried because of it.
Well, Bagel over here just getting absolutely wild, but I like that we're not overextending, but keep your eyes on Tabulator. Dandro was talking about on the desk, has been kind of saying a lot on the timeline, right? I've got a lot to prove, and we are seeing a flank. Megalodon in the water. Don't let yourself get wrapped like that, Bagel. Don't.
Ya te dio la vuelta,
we're just going to protect our flank right now, like you said. We've got a long way to go. Again, we had a quick view of the map, and it is headed towards the continue to move on and take a look at the rest of this map.
No sabe que va
este cabrón ahí. See what's going on. A couple things I noticed. Those that are Cloud9 fans with Jowo Squad. It seemed like they headed more centrally located than usual. They are not on that side of the map. So instead, they're going to be landing over towards Old Town, Low Town area and moving down to the south. But we move over to Pentagon, who's apparently found some prey of his own, especially with Fuzzing up on high ground. Nice pitch for setting up.
Yeah, it really is, right? And this is one of those spots who's been landing down towards this area for the time, but Ericsson already down on the ground. Nano drops down, tries to recover, and maybe put some pressure on. I hear the buyback, and now Pentagon, Fuzz, and Melvin swarming in, looking for Nano, and that will likely be a cleanup for Wars. Louis CM, Bubble CT, a massive squad, and, well, I know the Dust didn't touch on this, and this one's for you, Wars. You're washed.
What?
Hey, we had a conversation about this. I'm only allowed to say it once.
Dang, said he's washed. Worst performs on land. I don't know about that. We'll see.
No, it's all part of the ritual. You just gotta let it happen.
The reverse Cassigress. Here's a quick look at our map, by the way. As expected, to the eastern side, to maybe farms we go. To the south side of the military. Oftentimes see these circles end up somewhere near Superstore. Welcome back to the map, by the way, Superstore. We'd love to have you around these parts since we're dance. But we take a look at it and look at a couple of these squads. Number 1 is the one I want to highlight in the red on the right-hand side. That is Omit EU. This is Enkyo, Grom, Heath.
Falcon, que es el 5, eso güey siempre caen acá en Pump of Power porque siempre cae. Siempre hay un chingo de loot de este lado. Muchísimo loot hay. Y cae de ese lado. O sea, pega con el equipo onceavo, con el squad de 11. Nomás va uno, güey, lo van a hacer cagadas.
A lot of those teams, they're going to rotate in from the north and look to clean that all out. Specifically, Dongi, right? Getting another squad wipe, sending more people straight to that gulag. But we have to think about that initial public event, the fire sale that occurs at the top of every Circle 3. A lot of teams will look to get a lot more hyper aggro in that moment, and especially a team that's already got a few eliminations and not afraid to fight. This one on your screen, Team Community.
Look, at the end of the day, any team that has a great start usually has a great finish in a game like this. And so because this team was able to win high rise, they're able to rotate over here to Opera. They could keep looking for kills. They know what they can do from a kill and slaying potential. The question is, can they get their multipliers? This is a really good team. Up until the last couple weeks or so, everybody said that's team number 2. And now maybe falling into the top 5, top 10.
Manda TV, manda Rockstar, lo manda
a
Lalo,
to Silo we go. And I'm going to be honest, it's good to see flanked on land again, this time with Gabe and Blast. And this Gabe, Kuhn, if you don't know Gabe, this is one of those players, some rumors out there of Rookie of the Year. I know those questions are in the air. Gabe is very, very talented. The question is, how long will his leash be? And apparently, not all that long. Grabs an ATV, is going to go catch up with his team.
Well, he's one of those players that has been talking a lot about how he wants to be the next up, the very best that has ever touched Warzone, and he's definitely on that right path. But when you think about Bazaar in general, this fight has been occurring every single time. But the fact that we're 7 minutes into this game and we're still getting Mixie at Bazaar, I mean, it makes sense considering where the circle is pulling. But now it's just getting personal.
Look, I gotta say, if you're not tuned into the Twitter beef between these two teams that land Bazaar, you should tap in. It is egregious at this point. And frankly, the team on your screen right now has lost most of those encounters up until recently. And apparently recency bias pays off in kind because Bazaar is theirs right now. And look at this Omit in A squad. A ridiculously aggressive rotation. As a reminder, folks, this Omit in A squad with Brax, a top 10 team in my opinion, a very strong team, frankly probably a really good team on land. They start in the northwestern side of the map, and they've rotated all the way to Bazaar already here in our second circle.
Well, Volcom opens it up, knocks Juju, gets the full. Braxton comes in with the trade, but Panda on the inside gets out, laid out, in with a steel chair we go. But look at Resolve coming on back. This one's going to be bloody, and Panda's pretty much going to have to win that gulag because the reset is going to be on the hands of Resolve. But I'm surprised to see Omit and A kind of holding like that.
Yeah, they had a great setup, and I think they just got a hair too over-aggressive. Didn't have Resolve's able to get to the buy station, get his teammates right back into the mix. Brax and his team with Omit in a need to win their gulags and get back for free. And then again, this fight will continue. And well, look at the kill feed. Brax does not win, which means now their player down. It is just Youngsters on main stage for the first time for World Series of Warzone, but a long storied player. I'm excited to watch Youngsters all day today. But to the Falcons we go, because the question is, where are they? How much money do they have? And how many kills have they found in pop-off? And right now, they continue to ward off any aggressive moves.
Do you know how many times I've watched the Falcons loot pop-off power? They walk out with $50,000, a backpack full of streaks, and ready to just get mixy. But this squad, I love to take the redeploy and get out of there, but they're just a hair south of where the Falcons are inevitably going to push across. They were back there towards that bridge with a mobile buy station to be able to acquire, whether it's more bunker busts, UAV, whatever is going to get them towards that next zone. And you already think if you're getting pressured from different angles here, we just need to get inside, stabilize, and figure out our next move.
We had a chance to talk to Navi not too long ago, and well, Navi is
ya han de ir con un chingo de dinero, por eso ya están matando, güey. Esos güeyes no, si no llevan chingo de loot, no matan. Quítales el loot y no hacen nada.
Very difficult to win, so if you're in a true 3v3, sure, we're going to see some fun fights, but if you lose one, it's the signal flare for the team in the opposition to come flying at you, whereas your team usually tries to run away. This time, The runners were able to get away as we get some loot. Now, okay, this is a great call from you earlier, Tiff. This is our third circle. We're going to have some fire sales active. We're going to have a ton of UAVs in the air. We're gonna have a lot of info. This is a great time for a lot of folks to get into the mix and find some kills.
It's true. I mean, a lot of people are going to be running Ghost as their perks, and so you'll start seeing things like that. But Nano in the distance flank, maybe they want to get hyper aggro. It's that time to kind of let it all fly. But we got a chance to talk to Sage, Adrian, Swag just yesterday, and they were locked in, ready. And even honestly, though, did you see Swag's post? He's like, look, I know I'm going to go play for $1 million, but it feels like I already won.
All right, FaZe. I'm excited to see them because at the end of the day, FaZe didn't get a lot of talk at the beginning of the show, and I think they deserve a little bit more. I do believe we have an interview with maybe the first team out.
Gooey, first team to be eliminated here in the first map. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Right on, brother, as you should. Anything that went wrong, what's going to go right next time?
Very bad contract spawns, and compared to where we usually land, it was a pretty far flight. So.
Well, mate, you'll get them next time. Just to remind you of that, we have a small medal for you that says, better luck next time. Hopefully this is a good luck charm for you in the next one, man. Good luck. Back to the casters.
Wow, that is brutal, Miles. All right, better luck next time. I will give them some credit, though. Team North, first team out. However, they were top 10 every game besides game 1 in the regional finals. So maybe they're just going to repeat history and get top 10. Here's a quick look at our next circle, folks. We're going to see this close in. Now, again, with this circle, all eyes on Team 1 in the red. That is Omit EU, Tip, and they are just waiting for anybody to come their way.
They really are, but keep your eyes on that 5. The Falcons right there as well. They're kind of starting that. Now their plan is to make sure that they clear out one side of this circle. So I think Omit EU moving in this early on, I'm hoping that they did it with enough cash and resources to be able to maintain it. Because yes, you can take a god tier position, but if you take it at the wrong time, it really doesn't pan out well for you.
Well, as per the usual, a couple different modalities here for some of our teams. Hunting the edge of zone, especially if maybe you're a West.
Tengo un dron igual, Bueno, tengo 2 drones.
Estaría mal intentar trabajarlos, Están todos adentro, güey.
¿Hay gente acá en la montaña igual?
Ya, sí. ¿Quieren trabajar estos vergas o le damos chill?
A ver cuántas bajas lleva ya, 2. Es que lo que te digo, pues les da culo, pues chill. Buscan algo, van y buscan algo, pues un premio seguro, pues.
Me traigo su blindado, que esos vatos no lo están cuidando, güey.
A ver, déjame ver. Tengo un dron. No, si hay una afuera. Acá.
O sea, ¿tú crees que el Bifel y eso ya hubieran esperado todo ese tiempo para haberles puseado?
Hay gente en esta casa.
Esos güey ya hubieran llegado haciendo cagada, pues, de volada lo que van. Porque si haces esto, los dos enemigos saben. Y ahora entonces quedó en el medio de 2 equipos. Estos güeyes van a aprovechar para pegarle a este. Creo que alguien se asomó por acá.
¿El solo dónde está el que cayó?
Bien rotando hacia acá en open. Humo.
Ve eso con Dark, tú que estoy yo.
Es el pedo, pues.
No hay nada.
El equipo de Face Black lleva 9 kills. Team Falco, mira, ya lleva 8 kills. ¿Este team cómo se llama, güey?
Tengo otro drone y un P10,
Mundial Warzone.
Traigo un smoke nada más. Taquea todos, tú.
Puedes igual darme.
Hay que estar checando el aire cada rato, Va a haber freebies.
Teams.
Del marcazo. Eso es la cascación.
¿Cuántos somos tienes, Dark? ¿Cuántos somos tienes?
2. Ahorita torres ya. 3 termitas.
La neta no nos va a dar otro pool, güey. O sea, uno más, quizá, uno más. ¿Y de aquí a dónde?
En la casa de...
No tiene nada, ¿va?
Sí, vamos a tener, allá hay gente, sí. O sea, ahorita vemos más tierra, hay que ver qué vamos a pelear, güey.
¿Tienes otro dron? Ya no.
Sí.
El primer lugar se lleva $300,000. La partida, pues $100,000 cada cuando.
Acuérdense que también hay gente de ellos. Esos güeyes están holdeando a los de la casa, güey. Por eso también están encerrados. Están en pinches, güey. Están sanchados.
Blindado. Oye, que tengo un mortal también.
Aquí adentro de esta casa. Igual y el vato se sale por la ventana otra vez blindada en un rato, Pilas ahí, cuéntate.
Sí. ¿Salió?
Ok, hay que romper a estos vatos de la casa, güey. Bueno, aquí podemos jugar.
No me pincha, Mir, tienes 10 minutos ahí, güey. Yo sé que esta madre está pesado, pero no, así no, güey.
Dejar que salgan.
Ya tuvieron que haber ido, ni pedo, se hubieran perdido.
Ok, va. Sí, porque al rato estos güeyes nos van a querer estar.
Es que eso es lo malo, si no, eso es porque no confían entre ellos mismos que pueden lograrlo, güey.
Dime todo,
sé que si te asomas te pueden hacer cagado, pedazos por acá, pero ya no es la primera vez pues que ya se enfrenta a ellos, pues.
Vienen acá open, vienen open.
Ustedes juegan todo ese lado.
Y en esa parte que está, no. Eso me hace muy redutable. Ahora que saca de Shifty.
The greatest teams to grace Warzone. We'll see if they can beat the greatest after this one. They need to get a first round win to set the tone for this tournament. Some great IGL calls. They pick up double digits and they move on their merry way. And again, somehow, I'm going to quote Dandro here, for free, there's nobody looking at this side of the map because, well, there's the out of bounds line. They were headed to the very edge of this map and find the wildcard team in transition. A couple knocks from distance going to open up this playing field for them even more to run down. This looks like we're storming some sort of like Greek mythology moment here. This is wild. They're about to run down a hill with nobody in sight.
No, they're just frolicking around Earth's stand. It is literally their playground and it's their world. We're just living in it. But that's just what they do. They clear out an entire side. But tell me we haven't seen this before, as we do see Team Aiden full squad wipe down to 17 kills. And honestly, that one on the overall standings, their first place, is running into some issues as also.
Okay, and again, as expected, we have headed to the far eastern side of this map as far as we can go and then some, right? And so if you know the Falcons, you know they want to find the win condition, and that means the win condition is the out of bounds line. They are playing for this around Team Rocket, Team Clapper. They are right around the corner. They need this full wipe ASAP so they don't have anyone breathing down their necks, and they can set up for what's coming. There's a lot of teams headed their way soon in the next couple circles.
My man is like absolutely dancing around right now, and if you're going to be finessing this side of things, how? Like, I mean, we are just trying to solidify and find all of the people, whether it's the thermites. This is where if you get like a one-sided smoke on these hills, you are just losing full.
Rocket finally gets cut down, but actually goes inside of J-Tech.
Por eso los perros se fueron para arriba, que ya saben, tienen bien estudiados cómo hacer una zona. Y eso nomás se consigue jugando un chingo de tiempo.
Maybe a bit better of a game. Now this is such a fun conversation because
aprendes
last year, I'm going to put it frankly, our wildcard teams, they didn't perform on land. This squad, though, is one of those teams that a lot of people expected to do well in regional finals. They get bumped to LCQ, they struggle, they win the wildcard game, they go, well, we got to get in the lab, gentlemen. And finally, the last week or so, everything has started to click. They get a top 5 position in a recent tune-up tourney, and they're looking really strong right now. Take a look at the top middle of our screen. We blink, and we only have 10 squads left, folks. We are into a big multiplier here. 1.6 is kind of the minimum that you want. You got a decent amount of kills. This is a great game for this Nick Cool Colony 2K squad.
It really is, but unfortunately, you've got to get through this rotation, and when you're looking down the barrels at so many squads, even that Omid EU, yes, I was talking about that position they were in, but when they lose on that, they have to hit a rotation, investing a mortar to try and cause a bit of chaos to allow them to get on in. But keep an eye, Colony 2K, it's firing season. He isn't going to be able to get in on this.
Omid EU lying in wait, and maybe with some help. Finds a way in, barely, and a teammate still alive. Omid EU is still in this thing, and they are about to secure a 1.8 multiplier. This is a key moment for all of our teams right now. 6 squads remaining. Everybody wants the 1.8. This is massive. He's get cut down. We've got Enkyo down below. We've made it to top 5. 1.8 multiplier is in play.
Omid NA down. Enkyo on the ground. Finished there by Soka. The Falcons, they wanted to come in and cement that dynasty by opening things up with a solid performance performance here in match number 1, and they own all of the space on the map. over there in the distance, but this big fight here between J-Tech, B-Mark, Slide, this will determine it all. The final three, J-Tech, he drops Soka. Shifty, you better answer back for that one.
You know what Slide, B-Mark, and J-Tech's name is? Revenge Tour, and they're on it. Shifty is in his bag, and he's finding some success in it. FIFA comes in, plays the third party perfectly to pick up a couple kills in rotation. FIFA's still a solo, so we've got a 1v1, V2. The Revenge Tour has a chance to win it all here. The question is, will the third party be the difference maker? We just have to wait and see.
And you remember that interview with the Falcons? I think FIFA would be like, and I took that
Hasta ahí quedó.
2v1, we just gotta locate Shifty.
Slide goes too aggro, but comes in, B-Mark! Revenge Tour is here. The Falcons fall in second with a massive game. Revenge Tour says we're here to enact revenge. There is nobody cheering our name, and we are here to prove ourselves on land by winning the first map of the day.
Sometimes when you know that you have nothing
Pero ese Team Falcon terminó con 15 kills, 27 puntos.
Everyone talks about the Falcons, even the desk was saying it. But you know what? Sometimes even gods can bleed, like they said, chinks in the armor. But a 1.8 is still a crazy start considering how many eliminations they probably walked away with. But 2x, even better.
You got to remember about this team too. They land like the very top left portion of the map. They had a crazy rotation, and because of it, they set themselves up with success by rotating early. That's what gave them this win. They got there when they needed it most, and then they won the 2v1. There is one thing to say about teams like this, Tiff. It's that when they know they have advantages and they actually push it, they play with confidence.
Along with it, but it was that early rotation here out of Nickel and Colony 2K under the guise of the smokes to really allow them to try and find
equipo la mí perdió mucho tiempo en esa posición que estaba, güey. Es que no puedes esperar que vengan todos, güey. En esa posición no te puedes cubrir nada. Te van a hacer mierda en ese rato.
How many kills our Omit EU squad did find, because they did make it to 1.8 times multi, and a lot of folks think they are the #2 to top 5 team here. But a final look at this fight, Hisoka, they had win condition, they had a great position. The problem is they lose one in this transition. Watch this move. When you lose Hisoka here, all of a sudden you're in trouble, and it's because Revenge Tour brought the LTV up. That allows B-Mark to take an off angle. It allows Slide to hide behind the vehicle and use it for cover. And then FIFA comes in and plays spoiler. It's the perfect third party from a storied Warzone professional at FIFA kill.
Yeah, and if I'm Revenge Tour, I know where that solo is. We've already accounted for them. And what I want to happen is to allow them to put extra firepower on, but to grab the LTV, to take that challenge, and then know that B-Mark has your back. It's like that diversion, and it was so...
Games to go. Let's take a look at our standings after game number 1 has concluded. Who is on top of the leaderboard? It's actually Team Falcons. The eliminations was enough. Second place got them up to the top. 17 elims, 30.6 total points. And then we got Team Echo. We talked about how good they are playing through injury, but more importantly, playing out of their minds. They currently sit in second, and in fact, the most eliminations out of the entire lobby. Nice to see FIFA kill. Juki's, Lennon, they're in third place. And, well, Enigma, you covered Omit EU. There they are in 4th.
Yeah, absolutely. Big fan of Omit EU and what they were trying to do in terms of the fundamental positioning, the early rotations, basically change their drop spot, apologies. But I think one of the things as well when it comes to Omit EU is that they are, you know, I could accuse them maybe of not pushing up that church strong.
Shown us they can win, but now we need to see the eliminations to go through it. So let's get ourselves in that plane. We're looking down the barrel. We're getting into Urzikstan. Let it rip. We've got game number 2. Let's get into it.
La segunda partida del Mundial de Warzone de la primera sesión. Mañana va a ser la otra. La buena.
Well, the Falcons Falcons are at the top. The question is, will they stay at the top? You know how many days Urzikstan's been around? 283. You know how long the Falcons been at the top of Urzikstan? The whole time. Shifty has earned $500 every single day since the map dropped. It's unreal. This team is uncanny. They've earned $300,000 on this map alone. Are you kidding me? Somebody take him down. We'll see what happens. Take a look at the map. Take a look at Popov. Looks like we got a couple squads headed that way, including FIFA Kill.
Hey, look, I love when you want to get aggressive, but it's back to that contest that occurred at the start of map number 1. Turn your attention over here towards High Rise. Now, this resulted in a few trades back and forth, but they didn't have an actual loss, right? Scummin kind of maintains that position, but they're ready to run it back. They're like, all right, cool. If you want to give us some elims, we will take them. And honestly, I'm just waiting for the angle. He's got a PA in the back pocket too, and I kind of like that already.
Look, this is one of the most hotly contested, but also highly anticipated drop spots of this entire tournament. There's been a lot of smack talk between the two, and with Noobs into the mix, getting cut down immediately by Scummin. This is looking a lot of the same of last map. Let's see if Scummin can continue up the reign of terror, and yes, immediately 1-2, buckle my shoe. Where's the third? See you later. Head to the Gulag Vitality. Wow, what a start again for this squad on High Rise.
That's a commanding victory in a contested I've ever seen. They on Rational, getting him back up on his feet, and that's 3 eliminations that they'll kick things off with. But back to Bazaar we go. It looks to see that result may be the only one standing.
Yeah, history repeats itself in High Rise, but this time in Bazaar, it's a little bit different. Panda in trouble, Resolve in trouble, and gonna lose this one. Might get one. No, doesn't get the cleanup. Should get picked up. Panda is getting out of here. That is a loss for the side of Panda, so we'll count it 1-1 overall on that fight in Bazaar.
Can we talk about the preemptive of the shooting out of the zip so they can't go over there? Just get on it. Regardless, they have maintained Bazaar for themselves, and considering where the circle may go, this is a nice space to claim for yourself, especially that buy station, all the loot to go alongside it. You can see it resolved there, taking that Gulag victory against Patsuka.
Yeah, all right, we're getting back into the mix, but you're not going to go back to Bazaar, that's for sure. See them flying around trying to figure out where to go. And while we watch this Vortex team, Reply Totem again is who they're representing. This is a really strong team, a team that absolutely obliterated the competition when somehow they were forced into position in the finals where they didn't really do what they wanted to do and then made it into LCQ.
Destroyed
everybody apart. So be curious to see if they can continue some momentum after a win in Bazaar. But to Destroy we go, and got a lot of fans of Destroy and a lot of fans of Aiden. The question is, which fans will be cheering here in a moment if Destroy decides to take this fight here in Opal?
I mean, look, if we want to talk stories, we want to talk longevity, it's that Aiden roster. Think back to 2021 Verdansk NA Trios. Team Aiden takes the win and does substantially well, but we want a return to form for them. And talk about that consistency that they've been bringing to the table throughout scrims at a lot of the tournaments leading up to World Series of Warzone. They have been just improving, and it's been so nice to see that. I think a land buff can really do them well.
Yeah, I do agree. I think that Aiden squad is one of the most highly anticipated teams of this tourney to potentially play for second. And well, as we're talking about, they're wiping an entire squad and moving on their merry way. So we're going to continue to show some of these hot spots. And back to military we go again. Showstopper, a great third party before. This time a true 3v3, and definitely going to the side of this squad. Showstopper on your screen, a fantastic player. Put on a show for us all the way through regional finals where they dominated their competition and looking to dominate this Blast team. See it to the Gulag. We'll go and we'll see what they're able to do on the regain. This time military base goes to the side of V8.
Oh, hear me out about this roster. Enigma was talking about them, especially the momentum they've carried off of EWC, bringing it in. This is a squad that has the potential to pop off on land, especially day number 1, acquiring that. And if you're going to absolutely steamroll through that squad, I mean, Gabe looked lost there, right? And just circling things up as we get here, seeing where those teams are coming in from. Look to that northeastern side of things. There's still going to be a lot of those rosters that run straight into each other, but then look towards the northwest, Goj.
Yeah, we got a free Popov. It looks like maybe FIFA Kill or probably Juki's, frankly.
That's 100% that's got to be
Juki's by himself right now, trying to catch up with his teams. But yeah, the Falcons obviously have a free Popov. They're going to be rotating in, but the circle here is obviously denoting that we're going to be heading towards somewhat centrally located. I'm thinking likely Lowtown area. There is a circle that likes to end on that Lowtown area between that and Farms potentially. But here's Cloud9, one of the first looks at Cloud9 we've seen, and apparently apparently on their back foot as Jukis has regained and rejoined his teammates.
Yeah, look, they are just making their way onto this area. And look, if we're going to focus on making sure that we get rid of that trophy system to bring in a lot of the utility that we've got, I'm a little worried about 4 and Jace here on that high ground, which is nice, but if you peek for just a bit too long with the prowess of these weapons that we have, you can easily get 3, 2, 1. But you're already aware of where that lookout is, and Jowo and Breadman are kind of able to fly free and look for those eliminations in close range engagements.
Yeah, and Cloud9 again, they've kind of changed their drop spots based on scrims and tournaments they've been in. They used to land all the way over Seaport, and there's a chance they rotated over from that, but they had been landing kind of outposts and then rotating down to Central Zone, and that's where they're at right now, obviously. This Old Town, Low Town area is where everybody's going to try to be, so getting here early is nice. Getting some extra intel is fantastic. And got a bunker buster in pocket just in case somebody decides to push them.
When you think of macro strats, a lot of teams look for bunkers, they look for foresight, they look for all of the information that we can get. But the fact that we're ripping an intel contract right away from where Jace wasn't on route, right? But they invest that bunker buster. They kind of cause a little bit of chaos over there so they can force send this, and that is just an exceptional way to approach it. Now that you have that next circle information, you can come up with that plan, and this is the most, okay, look, FIFA, can we get out of there? I'm so glad you're a better driver than me because this is a little ridiculous, but let's get on the move here because this is the most cohesive time I have ever seen Team FIFA kill. Like they said, shambles this roster was in, but now different story.
Yeah, it's really easy to keep a player on a leash if you just stick them in the car and say, you gotta stay with us. But to a team that has had some
protection in the back.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay, yeah, lock the doors for him. You can't get out. To a team that's had actually a lot of roster changes here. Dizzy coming in as a sub for this event as their third wasn't able to make it in. Looking to find Clavson on the other side. Apparently not the first team out, but looking to maybe be the third if they get cut down here. Clavson, Gooey, FLS in trouble as Dizzy, their sub, comes in and finds his third elimination already here in the second zone. But here comes 2. Dizzy almost wins it both, and unfortunately doesn't look like Vita's there to clean up, which means we don't get a clean trade, which means it's a 2v2 for this fight. Luckily, catches one in transition. FLS did not hear the footsteps.
Look, FLS made that a little tough there, but I'm glad that we were able to get that going, get the buyback, and we can keep on moving. Still 8 minutes into match number 2. Only 3 full squads have fallen, and I'm loving the rebound that we are seeing subs. Sometimes you gotta have those super subs, but turn your attention back towards the academy area. We saw these squads kind of be a big mainstay towards that end game, especially this area of the map. But Jackal, Huskers, Brawling, where were they in match number 1? But finally getting to actually check in with him here.
Yeah, there's another big pickup on another team that has some roster changes. Vieira coming in as a sub for this squad and unfortunately getting cut down likely in transition. Little smoke and run, you never know, but with 3 people shooting at you and somebody that shoots it straight, it's Huskers. No chance, my friend. See you later. Huskers reaping the edge of map. And now we're going to move closer to center as we take a look at suburbs. But I'm getting word. Who's our first team out, Miles? We've got an award to hand out. Let's see who it is.
Uf. La verga, se quedó un pelín, güey. Pelito, güey. Un pelito se quedó el pinche Amir, güey.
Acaban de volar unas vergas, güey, ya.
De bolón de Lili.
Sí, pero tiene no se la bien cerrada.
Podría ir a la que está abajo de la torrecita alta esta.
Y va, pero ya sería que dijeras ya.
Ah, de literal por la de casa.
Y cada para
Que no haya nadie.
Está el directo, ¿no?
Estamos, ¿no?
Podemos caer y...
Dale.
Pues ya, se empezó a recuperar gracias al pinche Amir, güey, que se quedó un pelito, güey. Pelito en caer en el gulag. No miré contra quién peleó el güey, pero se quedó un pelinín el güey. Va a comprar armas, yo creo, ¿no? Destroy.
Nervous for that one.
Yeah, this is such an interesting spot as well because it's a very easy position to third party, fourth party, or more. You see 4 teams on our mini-map. You can see Super Evan's squad, a team that hasn't been in the limelight in a while, but really did a fantastic job during the regional finals. They won the very first map of the day and set the tone for what the pace would be in that regional finals. Have been a bit quiet in scrims and lead-up tournaments, but I'm excited to see what they can do here in Lowtown. Every team rotating this direction. You see Aiden off in the distance. They're not going to get a lot of value out of this, but maybe burn some resources. That Aiden squad is rotating super. We saw Omit and A have another big rotation, probably on the back of Brax's IGL. They come from the northwestern side of the map. They've rotated all the way over to New. Everybody setting up for the end game as some resources are in the sky. I'm sure everybody knows that there are several players around them.
Oh, and Juki's on the ground. The smoke and Lennon kind of disengaging from the area to look to hit that res. But I saw that he was using Resolute, which is quite a nice thing to just give you a bit extra health and give you a little more time to get to safety. And where you find this squad at, they don't have the ability to extend on out to get that kill if it's not occurring. When you gotta worry about what's coming your way, Thermite right replace that C4. They're nimble, they're quick, they're 6 in the back pocket, and now Nate Dogg, welcome to the interrogation, because you know our Apex squad, they want all of that info and they're not afraid to chow.
Yeah, and this is where they land as well, at least supposedly, right? I think there was some conversations they might go for test pop-up. It's not looking like it's the case. They've been here since the beginning of the game. This is XMQ squad. There's been some Twitter chirping for some of the folks that follow the Apex scene. Like, no, this squad is really, really good. Watch them kind of make some waves in this talent pool and have a good day in day one. And we'll go from there. Right now, looking pretty clean after a nice cleanup. Here's a look at that zone, by the way. As expected, we are in Lowtown and likely in Lowtown for the rest of this game. Take a look at all the squads on the edge of zone. Again, I want to pull out Omit EU, red 1 at the bottom of the map. This is where they've dropped. They've been playing extremely slow in this tournament, just waiting and biding their time. They haven't moved since the very beginning of this one, now creeping into the edge of zone. Several teams, though, are lying in wait because there's a lot of buildings in Lowtown. These are very big, so expect some chaos here shortly.
You really have to, and they're already starting on that grind to make sure they can clear out one side of it. They've got the sight set onto Fluffy Aimers and a couple other squads on the horizon. And we're going for a massive wrap. Everyone knows they start off in pop-off power, but we rotate all the way in the north. We cut straight to the east and come on down straight this way to Bazaar. And T, the only female on our land scene. Hey, Soka, don't give her a couple taps like that, man. What? Nah.
That was a well-placed thermite. I call those the fastball specials, all right? You just lay somebody the thermite, knew exactly where they would be, where the buy station is. Nice play to clean up a squad and then move on the merry way. So back to some action we go on the side of Opera House. Again, Unrational and Scummin in the mix. On the other side, Almond.
Está aquí adentro, está aquí adentro, está aquí adentro. El team debe estar por afuera ya rotando. Acá. Yo te estoy más a la derecha. Echa por ahí. Está todo a mí. Ahora, acá conmigo el vato, close. Sí.
Ahí viene, pero no tengo nada.
Acá rotando. Nada de eso. No te bajo close conmigo. No traigo balas de R. No, está marca roja. Ya ese se fue el que estaba contigo.
Acá hay balas.
¿Agarraste tu full o no, pa? Tenemos blindado para
rotar.
Okay. Ey, hay que vernos tu espalda, hay que vernos tu mirror.
Yo lo estoy viendo. Toda la gente está parada.
Miren, aquí hay un verga, aquí hay gente en estas. Que va a meter un verga. Tenemos una aquí arriba también.
Acá hay otra, ahí no, una.
Ahí arriba. Son. No, hola.
Son 3,
necesito más balas. Sí, lo traigo. Lutea al güey que matamos.
Están acá. ¿Tienes balas o no?
Ya, sí. Muy bien.
Igual, tráete otra extra, ¿no? Para aquí, porque yo no tengo balas.
Sí. Vamos a tener que usar ese pinche blindado. Chequen si está bueno.
Acá, Haciendo shoulders acá.
Chequen si está bueno ese blindado. ¿Abajo o arriba? Abajo.
Están abajo.
Puedes checar ese blindado, Dark. ¿Tú, Castillo? No, quédatelo.
¿Brincaron?
¿Es que qué?
Ya brincaron esos güeyes que están en mi marca.
Está más o menos. Tiene muy poca, la verdad. Hay que llegar a esta portátil. Y agarramos unos vans. ¿Ya subir? Hay gente ahí. Hay gente aquí, close. Te voy a chilear aquí. Aquí había un pato de... Ahí voy.
¿Este lado?
No está aquí nadie. Ya no existe la portátil, ya no existe la portátil. El que maté ahorita. Hay que rotar, güey, scope. Ya no tengo smoke, yo. Tengo un bunker para abrir espacio en algún lado, güey.
Bife está muerto, Hisoka, Bife.
He's got a little bit of backup. Just wants to make sure he plays his life correctly. So they play inside the building. They're going to force a zone off here on the portable buy station. FLS, Gooey, not sure what to do as Shifty comes in for free again. Somehow being gifted with another piece of cover playing around this portable buy. They're all three up and ready for this fight.
Well, this is the Falcons special, right? Anytime one of them gets ripped off, usually have enough cash to kind of keep them going back in. But Gooey, the first team out in match number 1. But we set a trap and we
y cayó Team Y, el equipo de Bife. El Falcon cayó.
But I only expect them to not have a perfect day. Eliminated in somewhere around the 22nd mark. Not a ton of multipliers, folks. I think we're having a new leader at the end of this map, but only time will tell as the train comes chugging along. Says, hey, welcome to the party. Unrational Dongi's coming. Could be that team.
Hey, remember when I said I was worried about how that rotation was going to look for them? Okay, well, that's a little nonchalant, right? They're making their way on in, but getting on over. Savvy Ultras would pop out the window, trying to get buzzing, but Pentagon's there to help him. That death ball of a team, and even the replay here. Shifty from behind. Gooey slides around, but we're not paying attention to what's occurring behind us. A power of friendship, power of teammates. You love to see it.
Yeah, several folks firing down range.
Pues ya está vivo el equipo de la Mil, que se va a enfrentar ahí a un equipo ahí nuevo que tenemos al Leote Reyes.
Again, a lot of folks are down again, but they're here into the top 20. Juki's team, they've left him. Juki's go join your team, remember? But here comes Samir. Viva Mexico, let's see what they're able to do. Picking up a couple in transition. That's a full team wipe yet again. The Slayer, Dark, a fantastic player leading this team in kills, but all three moving as a unit into the top 20, trying to make their way to new. Several teams in the area. That pink salmon color, number 9. It's going to be Super Evan. Watch out for that squad again. We're looking for a pop-off from the Wolf here, potentially on edge of zone. They've still got to rotate in. And where do you go from here, especially with a couple teams in your way, especially that FIFA kill squad in the blue?
Well, I'm excited to see what they do. Mind you, that 4th place in the Global LAN Finals last year for World Series of Warzone out of Deus Samir. He had that interview earlier, was talking about how he wants to do it for his region, secure more spots, and prove that they are amazing and substantial. But as you kind of zoom on out, set the stages of where the position is, I actually love where that Team COD Unity squad is. But now Scum and ripped apart as we extend out just a bit too far outside. Do we have a mobile buy station nearby to be able to get them back when, quite frankly, we don't really have enough cash.
Yeah, and frankly, this team is playing with house money right now. I mean, they're on nearly 20 eliminations as a trio. They're in a fantastic spot. Anything else they get from here is a huge boom. They don't even need another kill. They just need multipliers. Looking for top 10. Watch out in the kill feed as things get chaotic. Watch out for that Unrational team. They could have the biggest game of the day by a sizable margin as Linen, FIFA kill, in a bit of trouble here. And well, they've lost Juki's because he didn't rotate with them. Navi on the other side. FIFA riding in the corner and hoping somebody makes a mistake.
I love how that thermite just sticks like 4 inches away from him, and he's just trying to hold on. FIFA elsewhere. But Lennon and FIFA are both on 0 eliminations. This is a matter of fact where if you don't even have it, these multipliers aren't going to do well. 3rd after map number 1, but fall a bit too early. 13 squads remaining, and keep your eyes on Navi.
Navi, welcome back to the party, by the way. I'm sure it feels good to play on land after playing from Australia. Some in Canada leading up to these regional finals, technically a North American team, but these folks have traveled a long way to get here and now in trouble. PDS apparently burnt, so they have to burn another one. Omit EU, we go. The Slayers of the Falcons still alive after a frustrating first map. Having a great one thus far. Claps and FLS and Gooey trying to make it the top 10. Omit EU trying to do the same, and apparently going for the res here, not thinking anybody will look at him. Somehow getting it for free. Several teams falling in the kill feed. You see Aiden still in the mix, deep in the gas. Where's Scum and where's Dongi? They're finding eliminations off screen. A ton of eliminations falling, a ton of teams falling. We made it to the top 10. That community team is getting paid, but OME was trying to find their money. Where are the kills? Where are the players? Somehow all 3 alive and finally losing 1.
And Yo Promalog over there, but look who's back. Scum in on Rational on 4, but we've got to take down this squad right here. Burn, baby, burn, but back inside we go, throwing down the bouncing betties. It's Scum last standing, but here's what's going on. We bait the res, and we still have Dongi. If we can take 2 into the last, we might be okay.
All right, APAC, I see you into the top 5, looking for a sizable multiplayer. They have the 1.8. Scum and Dongi, the only thing they can do right now is win. The 2x multi going for new, and is able to make it with a hair iota of into zone. Into cover and finally cut down by Omit EU. Dongi last alive on 10 eliminations. This is a massive game. Gets 1 week, cleans it up. How about one game finally cut down? Omit EU on top. It's APAC down below. XMQ only has 2. It's a 2v2. Omit EU could take it with the best position, but they've got to finish the job.
A 3v2. Welcome back, and now we just press to the hill. Start opening fire. The trades galore, but Enkyo, maybe one of the youngest players on our land stage, making his official debut and making it known here for match number 2.
Doing it for the French. Enkyo, welcome to land, my friend, and welcome to a map 2 victory. I see Enigma shaking his fist. He's excited about that one. Omit EU on top in the next game. Now remember, Tip, I'm not putting a damper on this one. That was not a lot of kills from what I saw. And so 2 times 2 is 4. And I think it's a hair more than that. But all eyes on COD Munity with an easy 30-plus point game.
Well, you just think about their consistency leading up through all the different stages of World Series of Warzone, right? They were capable of getting those second places. And I started to call to question. I was like, this is a team that is increasingly flexible, right? They will split drop depending on what that plane line looks like, whether they go up to Kotobo or they start from Manor. But when you start from Manor and that circle inevitably pulls to you, of course you're going to run that issue of maybe we weren't able to rotate through, find some fights, and get those eliminations, regardless.
And it is working out. One of the struggles that they had was their placings, and now it seems as if they're doing just fine, but now it's even better because they have 30 eliminations, the most out of everyone.
Yeah, the 30 elims are really helping them come online. I have said since day one, if you want to try and keep up with this Team Falcons roster, it's about who can really get the eliminations. COD Munity, they were my choice very early on to be one of the squads that can do it, and I love, after only 2 games, they are sitting here on 30. Only 0.4 points behind Omit EU in first. I got to imagine it's a very momentum-based team. I know when Gary starts getting loud, he starts feeling it, he's bringing the energy to those other 2. And I got to imagine after that game number 2, getting ready to head into game number 3, he's hyping them up. They're ready to...
El evento de Bajado por octubre.
We'll split up. There may still be survivors. Let's move. Clear. Come camber up.
Revido oscuro.
Movement. Rocket, come in.
Va a andar zombies abajo del agua,
Does anyone have eyes on it? Report. Everyone fall back! Repeat, fall back!
Y a ver, ese güey. Está perro.
Does anyone read me?
Miércoles.
Oh, Season 6 is looking good, and so is our desk. This time around, we're taking the casters, bringing them up for the first time in World Series of Warzone. I've got Spider Tiff and I've got Goj, but I've got this guy, Reed Pulse, who's been doing everything. Not only pulse check up just a little bit above, he also brought out the trophy. How heavy is that trophy, though?
Hey, listen, man, let's not talk about how heavy that is. That's a tall trophy, all right? People were saying, you know, they're making fun of my height. No, that's a tall trophy.
That's a tall trophy.
That's like 6 foot, all right?
6 foot trophy, and a lot happening here in the World Series of Warzone with a lot of storylines. questions. It's been talks of some retirement.
Right now. Okay. I swear it's like a fucking jet engine in my ear, dude. The static.
Yeah, it sounds like an airplane. Like I'm inside an airplane. Like when you have headphones on, like it makes it like quieter, but it's not fully gone. That's what it sounds like, bro. It's like on a clear flight.
I swear it wasn't like this last year.
Like it was decent last. Like the headset itself was dog shit, but it worked. This one seems nicer, but it's worse. Also, the mic's curved to our mouth.
It looks like Soka's like hard cap 120 or some shit. Look at a wall.
Oh, yeah, we gonna pop out with this game.
On a wall, I'm getting 130. Fuck that.
Oh, that's what I've been fucking meaning to do. Fuck, now I'm on 60 frames. God damn it. It's gotta be like something in the PC that's fucking up that's making it be on 60 frames. Someone said it's something with the AMD, that it's like some...
Could be, bro. I mean...
Like some sort of like...
¿Cómo le gusta jugar de pinta que hizo, no?
Why don't you say your game?
He came over here and did some shit. It was on like 150. And I think when I got us into the lobby, it went down to 130 now.
Nah, 60, bro. Now it's not that loud. Like, I don't know, bro.
That is recent.
If Shifty goes down first, everything is lost.
It might be Hector, it might be the only time in Warzone casting where I say it's a coin flip whether or not Shifty wins a 1v2, which is ridiculous to say.
We're in Vegas though, remember?
We are in Vegas. It's better odds. Okay. There's better odds in Vegas, man. They're tearing it up. They're looking good. And 40 points is a lot. You actually were discussing it on your podcast with Jay God and the rest of your crew. 3 games tomorrow, maybe? I mean, how many are you really thinking we're going to be able to see?
Coach asked me this a little bit earlier.
Oh, did he?
I think I said 6 games, I believe it was.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, okay.
I 6 games. I mean, it just depends today, man. If they end up winning today and getting that 30-point threshold, but if not, they even get 2nd through 5th, I think things will get shaken up.
Yeah, 30 points. I said 8 games. That's where I'm at. I think you were sitting at... Bro, I want to see you guys work. Earn your paychecks. Yes!
For the crowd, for the community, for everyone at home, I want 8 games. The more games that we get, it gets even more just interesting and on the edge of your seat. But if we're sitting here and we're like, let's be real, how many times have they closed it out way quicker than 8 games when they are firing on all cylinders? But however, I've never seen them drop less than like a double-digit game or right there at it. And they might have just done that, especially to the team that dropped first in match number 1. And you have to think about it this way. When you start looking at that individual kill leaderboard, they're all sitting on 888s, which sounds great for Vegas, but I like 7s better. There's a lot of names that are above them, right? Sage being one of them right now.
That is insane if you think about that. You know, last year, Sage, Shifty, Diaz.
Yeah.
They dropped Sage. Yeah. Sage is now top fragging on his team, but not only that, top fragging more than Diaz, Shifty, and Soka.
Stir the pot, Hector. Stir the pot. Come on, man.
I wanted hot takes. I wanted them.
Look, they're all my boys. I love them all.
For what it's worth, we put a lot of attention on, Falcons, but Sage is a returning champion himself, right? He's looking to go back-to-back, and that would be a tremendous story. I mean, I love his story first and foremost, right? Sage is an incredible guy, an incredible player, and his story is incredible himself. But talk to me about your story, man. I mean, come on. You come in, you got Pulse Check, you're doing these watch parties. I remember doing these, World Series of Warzone last year, shouting you guys out because I'm like, I love what you guys are doing, and you've continued to grow.
Empezarán con 30, y así. Vale, la clasificación está mal. Vale, pues ahora lo miraré, ¿vale? Ahora lo miraremos bien. De momento lo tenemos así. Vale, gente, y por cierto, este torneo lo tendréis esta noche, ¿vale? Cuando acabe el torneo me iré a editarlo al momento para que cuando acabe el torneo, en unas horas, lo que tarde en renderizarse y en subirse, lo tengáis en YouTube, ¿de acuerdo? Sí, gente, me habéis dicho que la clasificación está mal. Dejadme a ver si la actualizan, ¿vale? A ver si la actualizan y lo vemos si lo actualizan bien. O si no, el stream de Repulse, a ver si lo tienen ellos, ¿vale? Lo miraremos, ¿vale? A ver, la clasificación que yo tengo... Espera un segundo, gente, que no sabéis la de pestañas que tengo abiertas, ¿eh? Dadme un segundito. A ver... Vale, entonces, esta clasificación es la buena, gente, esta, entonces. A ver, que realmente no hay mucha diferencia, ¿no? Realmente. O sea, solo es entre el top 1 y el top 2, ¿no? Vale, ahora lo miramos, gente. Porque nos vamos a la tercera partidita. Nos vamos a la tercera partidita. Y ya que estoy, voy a comentar una cosita. Ahora luego haremos cálculos, gente. Vale, a partir de la partida siguiente, seguramente... Voy a poner los anuncios ahora, para que no salten luego, ¿vale? Así que pongo anuncios ahora, y así 100% no saltan a mitad o a final de partida.
A tu madre, pinche golazo, ¿no? Voy a iniciar la otra partida.
Get loud for game 1 and game 2. Let's continue the tradition. We're dropping on in to game number 3. Never mind, I lied. We are resetting lobby. A-okay. But that just gives us more time to talk. And if anybody knows us two, that's exactly what we love to do.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been yapping a lot about Warzone this year. But let's go back then to talking about, some of the ways in which these teams are playing. And you mentioned the early aggression. Honestly, I'm a little bit surprised about that. I thought that it was going to be quite a bit slower here on LAN. I wonder if that will, evolve through the day. Because a couple of teams that have come into this today have changed their landing spots dramatically. We've already seen a couple of these squads decide that they're just going to try and and contest other teams for their POIs. And those POI fights, obviously super important. We're seeing battles over by Bazaar, for example. That's going on between Panda and then Totem Reply. And then we're also seeing that fight for top of High Rise that went against my Vitality team that I love so much with Noobs there, picking up the Better Luck Next Time medal.
Yeah, by the way, that is so absolutely criminal that we're giving a Better Luck Next Time medals to the first team eliminated, and the fact that it's Noobs, this like long-standing Warzone player, and he's just like, yeah. And actually, let's remember last year, World Series of Warzone 2023, him, Tommy, and Alman, game number 1, they were the first team eliminated in that game as well. Obviously worked out in the end for them. Probably pretty high up there in top 4 to be able to make it happen. But, you know, being able to come on in, that early aggression, fight at high rise, is something that we kind of marked that we wanted to watch as the day goes on. And it kind of connects to what you said earlier. This is the time to sort of iron things out, right? If you are one of those squads and you're finding yourself losing that fight, okay, I hope you put in the prep to have a secondary plan there, because you might have to go ahead and put it in effect.
Well, this is exactly why we're seeing a difference all of a sudden in Team FIFA Kill, because we've talked about it quite a bit on the desk, but they genuinely had no plan before this event. Like, they went into LCQ still believing they could just outshoot anyone, and I think it was that last map scare that suddenly made them realize, no, we need to have something. And they don't just have a first landing spot, which is over on that west side of Popov, trying to keep their distance from SSD a little bit, but still set themselves up, take advantage of the loot around there and the rotations that SSD like to take advantage of. But also they have a secondary if they need to regain, which they weren't doing before, and that is now playing in through the center of the map and just finding an area to lay low, get their loot together. So those plans definitely hugely important for these teams as we progress on through. It'll be interesting to see as well if there are changes, of course, depending on if you're losing those early fights.
No, that's a really good kind of point to bring up. I hate to keep harping on this team, but I do love the progression we have seen from them. Being able to have that regain sort of strategy is so important. It's one thing to land at your drop spot. You get your loot, you understand the people who are landing around you, you understand your loot path, your rotations, your timings, all of the work you put in all year. For some of these teams, though, if that goes awry early on, they're kind of just stuck, like, looking at their hands, like, what do we do now? And you, like, are dropping back in from the gulag, you pick a random house, and you're like, all right, I guess we're going to try and land there. We got some fun stats for you. Let's go ahead and look at them. We have our top 10 eliminations so far, Nima. Let's go ahead. Let's break it down.
Yeah, so I'm taking a quick look at this. I think the interesting one, actually, for me, that's going to stand out is Prodigy there in 5th. Not that he's not necessarily a slayer, but the one thing that they can be accused of sometimes as a team is not being aggressive enough. I think sometimes they can be accused of passive games, looking for the end zone. So to see them putting up the figures there, that suggests that they've changed something, and maybe it is that they're trying to mix what is a very good multiplayer averagely for them and turn it into something that gives them more with those kills.
I love being able to see that. We got at the top, we got Enkyo leading the squad so far with 14 total eliminations. Let's look at where he's finding those kills on the map. I love that we were able to do this for the Falcons. Let's see where Enkyo is dropping these eliminations. And well, I'm kind of not surprised to see this, but we're seeing a lot down here. We know this is their drop spot, kind of this one big area of the E-map, but then in that top east, one thing that is noting out to me, though, down there in Manor, they're kind of been known as the Lords of Manor. Haven't really been playing a lot there here yet today. Been finding a lot of their kills towards the north.
Yeah, they're happy to play around Manor, but they immediately get out of it. They like to try and push on out towards the gas station and squeeze up towards Lowtown. And the thing is that, like, a lot of teams, especially the zones that we've already had through these first 2 maps, they're having to play through Lowtown. We've already seen that general heat map where a lot of teams getting caught through the center. It's also why we're seeing these lobbies dwindle quite early, in my opinion. But also off there towards the Abtal Academy, that was one of their huge rotations early on. And honestly, I truly believe that if they just decided to play for Church instead of letting SSD have
Ando en putiza en la carretera.
you can last on out. It is a weakness of Omit EU, for example. We see them have these pop-off games and then sometimes fall a little bit slow. I think one of the things about that is making sure you're not just relying on the same game plan over and over again. I think a couple of teams can get caught in that loop of, well, we've got a plan, it works really well first game, and then just kind of play out second game, start off poorly, and just kind of go back to that same plan. You need to have an alternate strategy that you can fall into in order to then regain throughout these maps. Again, something that we're seeing Profit Team FIFA kill, and it'll be, again, a spot of can these teams manage to not just pick up the 6 maps today, and then obviously the solo YOLO later, which will be interesting, but we've got, I mean, we're talking on the desk, potentially 6, 7, 8 more games tomorrow, so there's a lot of Warzone to be played. You need to be able to be multi-dimensional, not just have the one strat.
I love all those points you just made. What a beautiful trophy we have here this year. Seeing that thing on the screen. I'm calling a little bit of a cap on Hector saying that thing is 6 feet tall. I think he is indeed just short. Sorry, my boy, but it's still looking great. I'll be curious to see who is going to be lifting this thing. It is absolutely wild. I just love...
Se echó el trofeo, mira.
I love we got the little center column there, the world, and of course that emblem right at the top. Really,
Pinche Oscar ni ha hecho nada el huevón.
Team of here to be able to win. Urzikstan. Let's take a look at our standings though, just to give you a little bit of a reminder. Game number 2 saw 2 teams really kind of.
La clasificación la pone así, gente. Creo que la teníamos bien. ¿Era la clasificación o qué, gente?
In second with 30 total eliminations, leading the lobby.
Yeah, putting up those big digits that. Sometimes when you're on these high-slaying squads, you want to play around the edge of zone. Sometimes another squad is gatekeeping you en route in, but they're doing a good job. The one thing that does scare me about Dongi and Rational Scumming is they've been a bit inconsistent recently. They've been a little bit quiet, but there was a period through this year where we had them down as the second best team because of how good they looked, how consistent they are. So all of a sudden, I'm sitting there going, okay, well, are this team suddenly finding their feet here?
We are here, drop number 3 of the World Series of Warzone Global Final here on day number 1. Surprising number of teams coming out on top in game number 1 and game number 2. Will be game 3. Bring us another group of squads who are finding their footing here as we seeing our players drop right out of the plane.
De la primera sesión del Mundial de Warzone
Precencial
en Las Vegas.
Sigue
cayendo Dongi en la parte de adentro. Pachuca ya es cliente de Dongi.
Yeah, we've been watching a lot of this contest recently around the high-rise building. This is going to be the Vitality squad, but with noobs instead of Enxion up against Community. And honestly, recently it's been going the way of that Vitality team, but I do wonder what kind of effects having here, especially when these tight fights. Definitely need a lot of chemistry. Unrational punishes noobs for 14 down, and another slow start for Unrational. That's going to make it 3-0 to Community on this fight.
Yeah, they are doing a great job being able to hold down this high-rise building, and I think the under kind of tone here is that, yes, obviously you get these early eliminations from this contest, but you actually gain a lot of space on the map too to be able to rotate on out and just kind of figure out where you want to go on the zone. You can glide for so long off the top of these buildings, and you're able to just kind of chill out, wait to see where that zone goes, and then start rotating. Back on the other side of the map, though, we can see the Las Vegas Inferno. I know they're here in the building, looking to get loud for their team, and it seems like so far early on, they are trying to find some early success against Cloud9.
Cloud9 are going to be pushed into a difficult spot here because Joe will get separated and is spotted on the cross on ground loop for a moment, so it might not be punished. And there's also a lack of utility on this Las Vegas Inferno team, so still relatively 50-50. It's interesting though to see that Adrian has picked up Joe from elsewhere, so a third party comes on through, leaving Jason Breadman in a tough spot. And the thing is, they won't be aware necessarily of the fact that they're getting pinned in here.
Yeah, this is a really tough spot because you can see there's 4 different teams in this area. You got FaZe kind of lurking on the outside. We saw Adrian was able to pick up Joe. C9 kind of playing underneath Las Vegas Inferno here, and there's one more team lurking in the wings. Almighty TJ seemingly has seen Breadman go ahead and cross as he's trying to be able to maybe find one more pick. C9, a little bit of a scramble right now, losing Joe this early. I know it's been a little bit of a tough time for them, but being able to kind of come out on top here is huge.
Yeah, the one thing that might keep Jace alive, by the way, is that the Spanish XO esports actually roll in through the back and pick up Babahoff. We see in the kill feed as well, by the way, that Vitality have gone out very, very early, definitely continuing their early game struggles. And this old town crossing into towards gas station here is going to be occupied by the XO esports, trying to find a route in. Future gets picked on off by Loss. And we're also seeing Blastities go out nice and early. So a couple of traded blows, just assessing the space you've managed to gain, the loot you can set yourself up with. You brought it up just moments ago. It can really help you picking up these early gunfights for multiple reasons, but one of them is it also lets you play late game positioning more passively than some of these people have to if they fall early.
Well, let's come on over to one of my favorite teams, Aiden C. Smith and DJ Moss, currently sitting in 4th on the leaderboard, kind of over here towards this low town area. This team has been really sort of flexible in where they like to drop and where they like to rotate. But the number one thing you have to realize here is they love to play as a team, and they will just easily take these team fights, wipe a squad, continue on moving. It's like a weird, like, fast, slow pace, I like to say, because they're not afraid to get aggressive, but they don't really feel a lot of that pressure. Like, we have to win this team fight, and we have to keep on moving. They're so okay just being like, yeah, I don't really like this fight. Let's go ahead and move on out. And that's something we've seen a lot of top teams are really engaging in. Recognizing when they can get stuck in a fight. They don't have to be able to sit there. And I love that that's what this squad has been able to do. They've been on the up and up. They are here, already performing pretty well here through the first 2 maps.
Yeah, absolutely. And I truly think that Z-Smith, by the way, is an absolute star of a player that you have in North America. And we are seeing this fight execute again at Bazaar. Volkov finds the first, then it's traded out for the second. And they get shot in the back, nearly spin, but Vortex will clean that on up. And that fight, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, has seen plenty of heat on the timeline. It looks like the Italians alongside Dropstaff come out on top here.
But if I know anything, it is that Panda keeps the momentum, keeps the energy high for that team. How many times have we seen these two teams kind of just land back on each other? I wonder sometimes for ego or whether for actual strategy. So we look towards our map. We see already still a pretty big center zone. Will not force many of our teams to have to kind of make these crazy rotations just yet. We're going to be waiting, of course, for those future zones to come on in to figure it on out.
Yeah, I think when you look at this kind of zone, you definitely want to be playing around intels. You definitely want to be figuring out which part of the islands you need to be on. You don't want to be having to play across the water mass throughout a late stage rotation, just asking to get cut down. I mean, this to me stinks of a potential cargo zone. So, for example, if you're off towards City, you're having to try and make that crossing, you're asking controller to do it late.
I absolutely love that. I love the call in the intel contract, too. I think it's one of those contracts that maybe gets overlooked just a little bit. Not players know how useful it can be to be able to read those zones, but especially
Siempre pone estos güeyes, no sé por qué.
Matis, creo que se termina la siguiente zona. Claro que aquí hablan los hoteles en frente y
ok. Es buen timing, ¿no?
Diferente team. Va a entrar un dos que les digo. El del medio va para acá, el del medio va para acá, viene para acá. No hay nadie, alguien lo puede holdear.
Voy con la mira.
Está acá.
En amarillo ni nada.
No hay nadie en amarillo, nada. Ahí está. Va para allá, voy a escalera.
Vamos, tío. Está en la mera barda. Abajo.
Va, que hay uno más enfrente,
¿Dónde? ¿En amarillo? ¿En dónde?
Aquí está, aquí no la va.
Acá abajo, ya no lo veo. No lo veo.
Quiero caer por la torre a tu derecha, Tommy.
Voy a tirarme advance. ¿No lo ves, Dark?
No sé qué dice el güey.
Podemos ir por el bounty rápido y va aquí uno de aquí. Ya vas a zona 3. Va rápido por el bounty y me regreso. Está bien, ahorita fuimos con el advance y la del medio, güey. Comprar otras dos.
Bounty targets marked. Kill them all.
Igual y antes de que sea zona 3, güey, podemos acercarnos al globo, güey. A ver si podemos rusharla chido a alguien, güey. Agarrar una power.
Con el advance, ¿no?
Yo tengo dos. ¿Tú traes una baraca, sí?
Sí.
Vamos para allá.
No, para droga.
Ya.
Ok. Va a tirar mis dos. ¿Quién es el amarillo? Ven, Dark. Mis dos.
Yo llevo ahí.
Arriba.
¿En medio?
Ya. Cierto advance. Todo libre hotel. Hay un equipo enfrente, quiere agarrar hotel. Vamos a agarrar hotel primero nosotros.
Dark, yo.
Primero hotel, porque luego estos güeyes nos van a querer robar. Aquí hay un vato en el top de la derecha, creo. Sí, está en el top. Agarró el chip, uno de estos está en el tercer piso. El de frente está weak. ¿Tenemos un street o no?
Tengo
un güey volando aquí, a la izquierda. 1, 2, 3. Están vaqueando. Ok, ahora sí pueden trabajar a este pendejo. Go. Le di una bala. Al de la tienda,
Acá, tienda.
Ahí sigue. Se metió en la casa.
Blindado, llegó un blindado, llegó un blindado.
No pedimos.
Deja de meter.
Ven arriba.
Te tengo ese güey.
Mata ese nada más.
El güey del agua no tiene play. Da.
Llégate atrás tú también. No te vayan ninguno.
Ahí hay dos.
Te voy a que te lee por atrás. O te ayudo por abajo, Dar. Tú dime.
Gracias. Tú estás acá al frente, la neta no quiero poder.
Sí, no, ya va a quedar. Están entre un kilo la pendejada ahorita. Luego los trabajamos. ¿Tú ahí tienen drones, Luis?
Ya está, tengo un drone.
Se está vaqueando. Se están vaqueando. Te voy a dar minero, Iván.
Placas. ¿Dinero?
Si quieres, déjame tus cosas. Ojalá, ya no me cabe, go. Rápido.
Tú traes el dinero, yo te voy arriba.
All squad members are in the safe
Vamos a
zone.
holdear 4 waves nada más.
Comparte tus otros dos, Dar.
Déjame feria.
¿Lo dejo ahí?
Hay que estar trucha, hay que ver de qué lado va a cerrar, güey, ¿ok? No quiero cruzar tarde. Si cierra ciudad, nos vamos a ciudad rápido.
Sí.
Un vergo de globos, güey, me pueden volar en cualquier momento. Déjame decir eso.
Adjusting prices.
Cayó.
Conmigo. Hijo de puta, güey. Ya te nada.
Ahorita las bandas. Ahorita dos.
Estoy viendo Kickcam. Creo que es uno y su team estaba volando.
Vamos por abajo.
And you're gonna have to fight to earn redeployment.
Voy a encerrar,
Vamos a la otra tienda.
Vamos a hacer un chingo de beams ahí,
¿Cargo? ¿Ciudad?
Sí, para cargo. Para ver si para la tienda.
Me voy a agarrar tienda. Depende, güey.
No, tenemos a esos, los de L. Ya se agarra el top. Arriba.
Está disparando uno del agua.
Tell me here. Tell me fucking here. Come on.
El agua está one shot. Muerto.
Sigue ahí.
De puedo caer a la verga.
Pues carga.
Sí, no.
¿Tenemos otro dance ya no?
Sí. Vamos con los DL.
Ando Gucci, normalito plates de smokes. ¿Ah?
¿De smokes? Pero el money
Yeah, Malami. Ok.
Sí. Puede.
Ey. Hay una net chida, una poquita bolsita. Ya. Aquí hay una de Muri. Agárrala.
Pues tenemos que estamos bien.
Quiere hacer la corona, podemos intentar hacerla. Deja ver si está metida de este lado.
Voy a tirar.
¿Y te quieres hacer la corona?
¿Qué dijiste? Ok. No, que sí, no.
No, corona no. Tío, la podemos hacer, tenemos advance.
Ok, dale, fuck it, agárrala.
Dale, yo traigo uno bien. ¿Traes dos, Castillo? Ok, tengo uno.
Vamos por estos dos,
Sí, te la juego.
Están otros dos aquí.
Espérate, vaquealo.
Voy a caer en el top, abajo.
Hay que agarrar el top de esto, dale. Agarré. Uno de ellos está en el top aquí. Juaní.
Está de frente ese top.
Para abajo.
¿Se van?
Vamos a agarrar el ángulo de los que se van.
Sí.
Son tres.
Ah, no. Estoy viendo a los del agua nomás. Mira, se va uno.
Está güey que hay mi marca. Está trabajando de frente.
Así da.
Alright, your squad's in the safe zone.
Está un güey atrás en la corona.
Vamos por estos dos. Vamos por este solo. Aguas con nosotros. Tú, Castillo.
Estoy viendo.
No, vente.
Ok.
Hay que agarrar ese carro.
Agarra el top. Se muerto. No, este es el top ya de los otros.
No mames, amigo.
Puedes lootear todas estas, Ahí tienes una portátil.
Ah, güey, ¿cómo ganas eso?
You got this, Dark. Come on. Esa va está abajo, güey. Yo que trabajas atrás de una vez y hay que contigo. Ah, no, creo que castigo.
Gente con izquierda, como arriba.
Traes un trofeo para que no te miren. Vale, es castigo. Cae en el centro por la marca azul. Un castillo hay gente.
No, gente. Sí. Dos equipos. Son tres. Vamos ahí con la marca azul.
Muy mal, muy mal. Fíjate el estilo que está jugando la mire. Bueno, ellos. Ahora fíjate el estilo de este güey.
Kids on his roof.
Come on.
Yeah, I got a team around.
I'm going to lace it.
I have eyes on that too.
You ready?
Yeah.
He's on
3,
playing on
2,
the back.
1. You good?
Oh,
Gotta get a thermal.
I'm burning him. I'm alive. Ran in.
I'm gonna reconjure up. Hold on. Guy in the air getting laced. He's got his back, by the way, G. Got blind to my left.
Looking at that, Shifty.
D, I'm leaving you.
Alright.
What are we doing?
He's on the roof again. Live.
Zip it again. Look at him.
In there. That kid's weak.
I'm fucking loose, bro. Another one. I'm throwing utility. The two under us.
The water. There's people on buy station too. I hear him fighting. They're smoking out of the fucking buy station room now.
Where's that you thought, Shitty? Above me.
Pump you, everyone pump you. I think you're hitting you, Shitty.
Yeah, I'm getting.
Might be hitting my bottom.
We gotta help D.
I'm the buy. Burning them.
Got this quick.
Two. I climb my roof.
Tu puta madre, el genterío que hay ahí, güey. No mames. Eso, fíjate, a eso va, güey.
On me close. Weak. Get that thirst. I got it.
Close. 20. Oh my god.
We gotta get on our roof.
¿Ves lo que te digo? O sea, de volada, pum, y esos güeyes la piensan en pusearle a uno.
Go straight forward. Look at my yellow ping. He's only 2.
I heard you.
Follow me. Watch out for smokes.
Don't get pinged.
I'm gonna get a ping. Go forward. We're hitting out yellow?
Yes. We should. Look.
I got live. They're getting more than shit. I'm running up. I have no smokes.
Go to yellow now. I heard you.
Yeah, I have no smokes.
I got one more smoke. Here, smoke this right here.
20, no good.
Llega amarillo porque esa es la parte más alta.
Yep. Follow me up.
Y la van a limpiar, mira.
Come on.
Put a camera down. Careful. Me.
He's laying down.
Weak. I killed absolute. Careful, thermite.
Drop down. 20.
Mira ese, güey.
I took height. Come up. We got a buy station up here.
Hey, I hear you. I'm not gonna say low.
Yeah,
we need to periodically look at our bottom now.
I have a trophy. We get
Tiene algo de dinero, pero esa es la zona más alta, güey.
Let's get there in the windows like second floor over here. Listen, if you want to look at bridge. Look at bridge right here. There's 2 kids there behind that car. They're gonna have to move. Yeah.
I know, low.
I had to jump lower. Yeah. I think they're getting shot at still lower.
Car. They're gonna stay there. There's a bunker. Can someone get a bunker? I'm throwing money. Right here. Bunker. We probably need a bunker here. You guys should probably.
I'm on.
Hey, drop money for rest. I drop money for rest. Here. People in the air. Look at this. Zipping. Back. Absolute. What's up, Oh, yeah, I'm getting down the floor.
Yep, so you gotta pick up this money, 15.
Yeah.
I already know. I didn't know he was like on the top.
Hold our bottom right now. I need plates. I know. I'm gonna smoke up for plates.
Shouldn't you mortar that? We should mortar that.
I grabbed a fucking utility box.
I don't think we're burning mortar.
I spent money on that. Yeah,
Trophy. It's not on us.
Under us. I'm holding my stairs. We're about to hit my stairs.
Okay. I can bunk us.
Come on, yeah.
Bunker the stairwell.
I am. I just did.
Only 25 left.
It might break our trophy though.
Andres, look at.
I hit him with the bunker. One has no place. Oh, he's coughing.
In front of me too.
Andres, I am on it.
In front of me from the bridge. I'll just again. Go Andres. They're coming closer.
No, I've been throwing thermite.
I'm focusing first.
Andres. Playing. The first or some shit.
Okay, I'll see him.
Outside
the door, knock one.
I'm getting eaten by these fucking...
You're good. They ran out.
Get up.
People under us, one foot under us.
Here, need plates here.
Need plates again, hold on.
Get the boss.
Yeah, I'm gonna die.
Trophy's gone.
I need plates. I need someone to buy me plates.
Here, drop money.
Drop money too.
Far from your location. Get moving.
Utility.
You should take the top. You gotta smoke everything. You have
200, by the way.
You have to smoke everything. Hold on. Putting up.
Also have PDS.
Return smokes.
I'm driving across. In the window. I'm in across. I'm good.
I'm resting you.
Yeah. I'm up here.
Hold our top.
I'm looking for people going deep in zone. Okay, I'm looking for the back ladder. I have back ladder.
They might take our roof again where we were.
Look up. You need to look up.
They fought back.
I have a back ladder. Hope you just hit.
That guy's no plates.
Absolute.
Throwing sky nades.
One. Another guy there. That kid is up there. He never died, by the way.
Watch out, okay.
That guy never died on our roof, by the way.
Above us.
On the roof. Yes, above. Look, we should swing him. Careful, don't get in there. Careful on our zips.
That kid above us, bro. Is he still there?
I can't see.
No, maybe he died. I have a PDS, but...
I want PDS, by the way.
We don't have many kills right now.
I need plates with you.
Here.
No, we need to eat, bro, low-key.
Friendly box station inbound.
Bro, that kid might have died.
This kid is above
us. He's up there. Funny.
I'm gonna have plates, bro.
Already.
Both?
Kill him.
Keep knocking him out.
No, I have one PDS, by the way. I don't have it.
I have one. Fine, fucking.
I don't have anything. My Gatsy only has one tick left. These kids are outer. Knocked one. Another one live.
20. No, for a reroute. PDS first, Shifty.
Dude, I'll do it.
Want to do it? Alright.
I'm gonna wait for a one shot though. I'm gonna wait for some new one.
I don't have a gas pass.
I only have one tick. I have one tick in my Gatsy.
One
left. There's one left. Let me jump in.
Alright, jump on this kid or no?
Yeah, on here.
We need a kill. We need a kill.
Nice, bro.
We're good. We just gotta find our pace. We're just gonna find our pace. We're good.
What you say?
We just gotta find our pace.
I know.
Revive. Like we low-key need to start biting more. Like when we have the
Here at the World Series Warzone Global Final in Las Vegas, we talked about a slow start. We talked about whether or not they could come online. It felt like we were simply delaying the inevitable. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. A prophecy fulfilled here in map 3.
No, this is exactly the type of game you like to see out of them. It is no surprise to see them maybe take a game or two, read the lobby, feel how they're going to go ahead and play. Now, I don't want to even say slow start because they were still finding eliminations. They were still doing pretty good, but this is what you like to see. You like to see them to be able to kind of work together to figure out, even in these slower sort of matches, yes, maybe it's not the 25 kill win that we've come to expect from them, but what it is, it's the momentum starter, and we're only after 3 games in. We got 3 games left here. Plus our solo YOLO. I would not be surprised though to see this to be the match to start the fire.
Well, we saw this on Tuesday, right? The last bit of practice that they got before we flew out to Vegas, and they got off to a very slow couple of games initially, and then once they got that one victory, they went and had 3 back-to-back. So it's whether or not we're going to get a repeating of this going on. It starts to become very concerning for anyone else in the lobby when you see that the Falcons have come out on top.
Yeah, I got to imagine that zone really kind of caused a lot of chaos from the two. I loved that end game sort of play that they had, though, where we saw Ahsoka make the first cross. And yes, while you do get laser beamed out of the sky, he goes down. The teammates are able to follow it up. You get the self-revive. And really, at that point, they just have to worry about Robstar, who lands above them. And once they take out Robstar, it's like, all right, we literally only have to worry about everyone that's below us. And then I think they were fully ready to go for a heal-off there against Zach. Thankfully, that's not exactly what has to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that with the Falcons there as well, it's not a surprise to see them take multiple high grounds throughout that. The power positions, of course. We're going to get a quick look here at our last stand, and, well, Romalov took himself away in a corner. It was a tough map for Omi EU. Feel like they put up quite a bit of kills, but not getting the placement that they would have liked.
Yeah, I mean, here's that play I was talking about. You can see while this flurry of chaos is happening down below, it just allows them to move on over. Shifty gets this excellent pick onto FLS, and you got to imagine that was sort of the unraveling of Clapson and Co. They tried to stay alive, and this was a great fight, by the way. Nate Dogg going up against the French here. Tries to be able to find one. It's a little bit of like a third-party central. You got these 3 teams trying to battle it out. Nida tries to stay alive. King Chalk makes the trade, but it's ultimately the French at the end who comes in at the last final moment, cleans it on up to put them into second.
Yeah, what is interesting about that whole fight is that the Falcons looking over the top and then putting bullets into the French triggered that entire occasion. So it was them just trying to dwindle down the lobby, down out so that they could just take the 2 times multiplier.
1 contra 3 contra el equipo de Biffel. Poco puedes hacer ahí. Y Zack, que ni siquiera estaba apuntando a la ventana que tocaba, acaba perdiendo ese 1 contra 3 que lo iba a perder igualmente. Así que, gente, nos iremos a ver la clasificación y nos iremos a las últimas 3 partidas del día de hoy. Bueno, últimas 3 no, porque luego tendremos una partida más que será el solo YOLO, gente. A ver qué dice Biffer, gente, mientras como algo, que tengo hambre.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're just trying to find our feelings still. Obviously on land, people are playing for $1 million, so it's definitely playing out a little slower compared to...
Speaking of working it out, you don't have that many games to work it out. I mean, how do you do that in matches? You know, obviously one of the best players in the world, but what advice would you give to folks at home trying to find themselves in a similar position?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, our team, we're one of the best 3 trios in the game, so... all the other teams, you know, they suck. So we're still trying to get it worked out. But yeah, I mean, it's honestly just taking it slow. Trying to breathe in between games. I know Soka's telling us to breathe, you know, keep calm and all that stuff. So yeah, honestly, keeping it calm and yeah.
Dude, Rowan, thanks very much for that. Any final words you want to say to the fans? You've obviously got a lot of folks in attendance, a lot of love for Team Falcons, what you guys are doing. What would you like to say to them?
Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you guys for showing all the love. We hear you guys, trust me. We hear you guys through the headsets. Keep it going. I love you guys.
Thanks, man. Good luck on the next one. Over to the desk.
All right, Miles, thank you for that. Biffle saying all the other teams suck. That's that confidence Falcons have, man. And I was saying at the top of the show, Repos, like Falcons, they all individually have the most confidence out of any esports player I've seen in quite some time. Talk to me about that confidence and their unwavering faith to consistently win.
Yeah, man, look, they are, without a shadow of a doubt, the 3 best players in their respective positions, right? So when you have that confidence and when you're winning 30 out of the last 34 tournaments, I don't know how you can't have confidence. So I don't know, man. Those guys just built Diffie.
Built Diffie indeed. That's a tremendous win. We go through our replays and we start seeing Falcons and how they really start setting themselves up for success. And Tiff, I actually was overhearing you. You were saying, like, look, zone number 6, Falcons are rotating in for free, and you literally called the game with 21 teams left.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that rotation in, I was like, they're winning from this position. They rotate in, they take that initial team down, which is XTH, which is from our APAC region. And it's hilarious because, you know, Shifty yesterday on the pulse check was saying that XTH potentially wanted to contest them over at Pop-Off Power. They're seated right next to each other. And I wouldn't be shocked if after that, Shifty was probably like, oh yeah, guy, like, what up? I told you I was coming for you. But the moment they take them down, there's only a few threats in the area. And it's Omid EU, right, that tries to lay siege to that building, recognizing the power of that position, because high ground is great. And like I said earlier, if you take it a bit too early, it can be risky. In that case, it was XTH. And Falcons, well, they're the boon of that. They talk about that double-digit eliminations, and here's where they take it. This is where XTH loses in. Omit EU, they try to go in from that bottom. We invest the bunker buster to try and throw a bit chaotic moments into it, but they just cannot get things done. The Falcons are one of the scariest, most consistent fighting teams, and if anyone can do it, it would be that Omit EU.
Talk about a little bit of revenge here. FLS down below getting taken out by the Falcons, right? That team's been dominating, though. They've really come back after a frustrating start, but a crazy another stat, that Zach team had a ton of kills. Also, that's the team that lands closest to the Falcons up at Pop-Off at that gas station, Hector.
Yeah, look, the biggest thing that these guys do that not a lot of teams do, we've been watching so many POVs, so many scrims. Falcons, they always play for the win condition. A place where they think the end zone is going to end. That one right there, that one gunfight, won them that game against FLS and them.
FLS been tearing it up, and actually they were a team that took down Falcons a little bit earlier in the day. This time around, though, like you said, the revenge comes through, and Falcons take their victory for the first time today, just short, right, in game number 1, number 2. They placed number 2, but they should be on top after that one. They're looking pretty incredible, and also another region in general that's looking pretty good is EMEA. I think they're exceeding all expectations.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this, the EMEA in general. Last year was a little bit fishy, I'm not going to lie, but this year, I know Enigma is going to be so happy to hear this. I think EMEA came to play this year, and they're actually significantly better than last year.
I think so. I mean, come on. They're tearing it up. Gosh, you heard them say it. I mean, got to be happy with the result.
No, absolutely. If you're an EMEA fan, you're loving what's happening right now. You've got several teams inside the top 5 likely, definitely a lot of teams inside the top 10. You've got some teams that, frankly, you didn't expect to perform fantastic up near the top 10 as well. We've been talking about FLS. They did the exact same thing they did in the regional finals. They started off horrible. First map completely chalked. Guess what they did in the regional finals? They were top 10 every single game after that, right? And now they're doing it again. They get 6th place in that one, barely missing out on some multipliers. Watch out for that FLS squad. They could squeak into the top 10 and walk away with a sizable amount of points for tomorrow.
And not to mention, Community has also been an incredible team too.
Oh my God, finally. Look, leading up to all these tournaments, going into the World Series of Warzone, I have seen the Falcons fall, and it was towards this team community. Back then, they were competing as USD on Rational, Scum, and Dongy, but talk about it this way. Not only that, they pick up Tommy to coach them for the Global LAN Finals, someone that has such a historic in the competitive Warzone scene. So adding that into the mix, we can already see the changes. I called them a slow burn in game number 2, and they usually pop off in games 3 and 4. We've started early in a 6-game series, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're still at the top of the leaderboard, because I think I saw Dongy with like 20 eliminations. He's at the top. He's got a gunny.
Hey, talk to me, Hector. I want to hear your perspective on this team, because these guys are slayers, but when it doesn't work, man, they're trash. And I think it's that win off the drop spot, right? That high-rise win has been setting them up for success.
For the last 2 to 3 months, or a month, they've been losing their drop spot against Stuo, Engxian, and Patsuka. Today, they're winning them all. That team, I'm telling you right now, they have the world record for the most kills in a custom game. They have the slay power, but they just need, sometimes they need a click. They need that team chem. But when they do, I've said this before, we've talked about it in the podcast, they can shoot.
Oh, yeah.
Has there been a team, though, that you've been watching that has underperformed for where you expected them to be after 3 games?
Oh, man. I ran down here as soon as that one ended, but I think Brett and them, I expected Brett and them to do a little bit better. I know that they said that when it came to the actual LAN, it was going to play a little bit slower, and it has, but I do think that that's a team that I expected to always be in the top 10 no matter what, top 15. I don't know where they're sitting at right now, but I know they died early the last couple games. So
yeah, and it's worth mentioning too, we see Cloud9 change their drop spot for LAN, right? They actually land over by Old Town. They're running into likely FaZe first. They obviously ran into Destroy, and Destroy Destroy came out on top of that as well. You see Destroy in the final 5 there as well, also in the same area. So that Old Town, Low Town start has been pretty dang hot, and Cloud9's not getting paid for that.
Well, speaking of landing spots, let's actually look at a heat map of all the landing spots throughout the 3 games, and clearly there's a lot of hot spots there. Tip, walk me through these landing spots and what we've been seeing and what makes sense from this picture.
Yeah, as you can see, if you look down towards the southwestern side of things, that main building in Zaravan City, and even a little bit of Quadri Shopping Center, those are some of the areas where the large majority of our squads are landing. And as they rotate on out, the majority of the times we're going to be hitting kind of that C-Town, Old Town. So of course you're going to have a large majority of fights there, especially with our last circle in match number 3 ending in that area. So all of the action there, specifically when you think about the high ground, is like, just think of all the damage that you acquire through that, because it's like, dude, I could shoot for days towards the high ground and I'm just farming, and you gotta go through it.
Yeah, I mean, look, that place, I love that the end game last one was there.
Yes.
I called it literally second zone. I was like, this end zone is gonna be here and it's gonna be crazy. That might have been, I don't know, I could be wrong, the most players we've had in the end game in a while. So
you're right.
That was great to see.
Hey, Repulse, it's been great having you up here, picking your brain, man. And obviously, you got a lot of passion for the scene. I love your watch parties. You're going to continue to do them not only for today, but also for tomorrow, and then, well, for, I guess, all eternity at this point. We don't want to let you go, man. One might be retiring, but you better not, dude. Is there anything you want to say to the crowd before, well, you get out of here?
Yeah, to the crowd, thank you guys so much for being here. I know each and every one of y'all just know I love you guys, and the goal is just push the competitive scene forward. So every single one of y'all sitting here, just know you guys make a difference, and I love you, and the whole competitors love you.
Hey,
thank you, guys.
And we love you too, man. Thank you so much for coming up here. We really appreciate it. And for all of you out there, CT Red, they've been grinding. We heard the passion earlier today from Amir. Let's hear a little bit more.
I am here with Deus Amir from CT Red. My man, it is great to see you. I got a question for you though. You gotta talk to me about the qualifiers for LATAM North. It was a crazy journey through that qualifier. Talk me through those final moments that got you into this space here.
We had to go crazy to qual, and it was magic. It was total magic. I don't know, we've been in tough situations before. I'm very proud to say that in most of them we've been successful to come back from them, but yeah, I love my team.
A final question for me is mostly just about resiliency, your team, and what representing your region is like.
I keep competing because I love it. I'm really passionate about it. When I started playing Call of Duty, I was like 13, and I was just playing, like, trying to be like my heroes, Scumpy, Formal, and them. So for me to be here today, like, about to play in a huge stage in front of a lot of people and representing my region, it's a dream come true. So
one of my favorite things about your team is consistency, but also your passion. Look, I'm gonna poke at the bear a little bit. I've got a chance to do some blind rankings with you, okay? So all you're gonna do is you're just gonna rank these players I name 1 through 5, and you don't know the rest of the players. So you just place them wherever you think, and we'll see how it goes.
All right.
This will be a clip for the timeline for sure. Somebody's gonna get mad about this. I'm gonna start with a fun one. We're gonna start with Sage. Ooh. You can place them 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5th in our blind ranking. You don't know the other players though.
I'll put them number 3.
Number 3, right in the middle. Okay, respectable. Sage, a good player, obviously. Okay, next up, Enkyo.
Ooh, I would say 2.
2, right above Sage.
Yeah.
Yeah, young player. I know, you know, they're on the other side of the map from you guys, but they will rotate over there, and you guys fight them a lot.
Very good.
Okay, FIFA kill.
Ooh, my boy Fiv. I don't know. I guess this hasn't been his year, but I think he's a great player. I'll put him forward because this has not been like his best year competing, but I think he is like S tier. He just gotta put his shit together.
Next up is Deus Amir.
Ooh.
You got 1st or 5th?
All right. I'm putting myself 1st.
Okay. Look, give me a shout about yourself. Why are you guys gonna win it all?
Yeah, I mean, we've been sticking together. We're really passionate, and I don't know. You'll see. You'll see tomorrow. You'll see tomorrow.
Okay, final player. We know where they're going to go.
What?
Shifty.
Ooh, my bad, brother. I'll put you 5.
Shifty, the worst player on our list. That was blind rankings with Deus Amir. Shifty's not winning it. It's Deus Amir and CT Red. Deus Amir, thanks so much for coming in, man. I'm so excited to see you all perform tomorrow and the next day.
Thank you, brother.
Cheers.
Yo, give more spots to LATAM North.
You heard it here first, or probably not first. You've heard it a lot. I agree. Check out LATAM North.
Always great to hear from Amir there. CT Red, right? Still tearing it up today, trying to do their absolute best. And, well, we'll continue to see how they'll finish out. That's 3 games down. We are now at our halfway point. 3 more games to go to decide the opening points leading into match point, day number 2 tomorrow. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble, joined by Dream Crazy Geo and, of course, Danjo down there. Danjo, how did it feel to cast for the first time at the World Series of Warzone?
Felt good, man. Felt real good. I've been a lot of casting this year alongside my man Enigma. So
that's right.
Great to be here. Give some hype, of course, to Las Vegas here on day number 1. And most importantly, have a great game to be able to cast over. I know it did slow down a little bit, but I think it was fantastic to still watch everybody. I think finally take the game a little bit seriously, realize that you're bottom of the leaderboard and you got to do something different already.
Really? Oh, wait,
by the way,
there is $1 million on the line.
Like, I think there is $1 million. I actually got a case of cash right here I'm going to show off. Again, can I keep that? I don't know, but that's where the $1 million sit. Hope nobody charges me for that. By the way, Falcons win their first game of the day when you cast. I just want to point that out. So
remember, okay, so no jinx though. Last year, I right after they won, I went up to Shifty, Biffle, and Sage and dapped them up. And at EWC, Shifty was like, yo, after I win, I want you right there. Okay. Right? Because I want to be able to go looky. So maybe just a little bit of a premonition to what can happen here.
All right, well, from premonition, now going to the past, let's talk about how the first 3 games have unfolded. They've been absolutely blistering fast, and if you haven't been paying attention, well, you might not have been able to keep up. Game number 1, we started hot and heavy. We were expecting a bit of a slower start, but Dream, it was lightning fast. Nobody was slowing down. All gas, no brakes.
Yeah, indeed, all gas, no brakes. And I mean, a lot of aggression, but we almost saw, in fact, our team Falcons take a win, right? Shifty was left in that 1v2 situation, but it was B-Mark, essentially the underdogs that were able to take it here, revenge tour, and that was an impressive win.
It was B-Mark, J-Tech Slide. They take game number 1. I mean, we weren't expecting them to do so, but Danjo, they made it happen, and that was probably the biggest surprise of the day.
No, it was the biggest surprise, but it does also tell the tale of the rest of the day, because yeah, you win game number 1. I love it. It does a lot for the players, but you win game number 1 with 7 eliminations, and they were in like 8th after that first kind of game. So it's like, yes, it's great. I love that, but you have to have those eliminations if you are going to be taking on games. It's still a great start to the day, though.
And Gio, game number 2, Omit EU. They come out, man, absolutely frying. They had the ego, but the ego paid off.
Yeah, I mean, is it too on the nose to say it was all guns blazing?
There you go.
That's
what it was.
Very literal, right? But it's exactly what happened. And I actually want to touch on something that you just said, where you were like, you know, you win the first one with 7 elims, and like you're still kind of coming out at 8th after that. But that was something that we saw after drop number 2 as well, because we had teams like Team FIFA Kill and like Falcons who did really well in that first drop, and not so hot in the second, and then that's where they were placed after that. So still, even if you come out like really hot at the start, you've still got to keep that up, which obviously we saw in game number 3.
Yes, that's right. And game number 3, Team Falcons, they end up taking the victory.
Yeah, and one really quick shout I just wanted to say, Enkyo being that top slayer, even being that young gun player, land first time, that pressure, that's amazing. But Falcons, we talk about pressure. The one thing I was going to say, because obviously, you know, we were in the green room, I was like, look, if they win this game, I don't know, that momentum, they could just carry it further, because with Falcons, they just need time to figure out how everybody's playing, and you guys heard it. Biffle said, everyone kind of slowed down from game 1 and 2.
It seems like they did, and he also said, well, all the other teams suck, so he's got that confidence. I'm going to continue to say that because, hey, there's not a lot of players that can get away with saying that. He's one of those players that could say that and be like, okay, well, facts. All right, let's take a look at our standings and see who is at the top. Will Falcons take over first? They will not, but they will creep up to second place with 65 total points. COD Munity, Dandro, continue to hold on tight. 68.4 points. They have 42 eliminations, so even though they're not necessarily getting the placings, they're getting the elims, and they maintain first place.
No, this is what I love to see from this team. You want to be consistent. You want to play game over game. And like I said, I mean, the Falcons, yes, off of that win, you kind of come online. They jump up the leaderboard to second, but COD Immunity, we know what's capable with them. So now, even if they just stay neck and neck, that's really all I want. I just want somebody to try and basically give Falcons some trouble. Make it not easy for them just to be at the top of the leaderboard and take all this pressure off themselves. They actually have a little bit of pressure, because even though, yes, you are in second with 65, not too far away. Omit EU, you're only 10 points behind.
And you know what? You just got to get, okay, Don King, 20 eliminations, by the way. Insane.
Insane indeed. And it's a lot, and that's why they're up and where they currently are. I want to shout out Omit EU, Echo, and then we also have FIFA. Look, EMEA, and I asked Repulse this, and Gio, EMEA has truly been tearing it up today. They are without a doubt a constant conversation. You got to be happy with that result, and we could see an EMEA team win 40 points today going into day 2.
Yeah, I mean, actually, you just mentioned one of the teams that I was going to say I'm really going to be looking at, and that is Team Echo, because they've like been in those top 3 kind of situations in the drops that we've had so far, but they're kind of sat in 4th place right now. They've been playing really well, and they still just got to like pull through and have that 1st place finish, which I believe very strongly that they have in them.
I think they do, and another team that has just been great is FLS. They've been a consistent talking point. Now, granted, Falcons did get the best of them, Dandro, but FLS has also been another team that I don't know if you were expecting a lot from them, but they gave us a lot from today.
I wouldn't say I was expecting a lot from them, but I was really curious to see how they were going to do on land, leading up in a lot of the scrims and tournaments and things. They were kind of, nobody knew about them until the last like month, it felt like. And then it was in the last month, they really came online. They really started actually being one of these teams that could perform really well, off ping, mind you, might I add, in a lot of these scrims. So when that happens, you're kind of always now having a little tuned into the radar of what this team can do. Now we're seeing them being able to take fights, being able to lose fights and then regain on a different side of the map and still have a fantastic game. It's these sort of movements that I look at for a lot of our teams to kind of say, okay, you have what it takes to be at the top, and it's just a little bit of refining for them to be able to get there and stay there.
And also they got humbled really early, which is kind of a nice way of starting off because you can get it out of the way.
Hey, might as well get it off at the very start, right, Dream?
Oh, no, exactly. And, the one thing I love about them, too, because obviously all 3 of them have land experience from last year. Coming into this, they had some uncomfortable moments, but the thing that I really loved and that we saw them do, especially when that game number 2 they got taken out from Dizzy,
fragueando después de 3 partidas. Aidan y Sifty con 15, Scamen y Wartex con 14, Biffel, Prodigy y Gecko con 13 y Sage con 12. Así que cuidado con el torneo que se está marcando tanto Donkey como en Keo. Eso sí, estamos en el primer día, ya aún falta la segunda mitad del torneo. Pero a Donkey que no le tiembla el pulso de pushear al equipo de Noobs en la parte de High Rise. Vamos a ver, porque lo van a seguir haciendo. Me gustaría ver si el equipo de Noobs va a seguir jugando agresivo, porque no les está yendo nada bien. El equipo de Noobs, gente, que está en top 30 y algo hemos visto. Así que veremos a ver qué hacen todos los equipos. El equipo de Panda cayendo en la zona de mercado. El equipo de Donkey que va a querer la grúa para intentar tener un poquito de ventaja y disparar algo antes. Pero el equipo de Noobs que no cae. No, el equipo de Noobs que no quiere fightear la zona de High Rise. El equipo de Noobs que ha dicho, chicos, no nos está yendo bien, no vayamos a caer aquí. Y Aidan que está... ¿Qué está haciendo Aidan? Aidan cambiando... Aidan, que estás en un torneo de $1 millón. Se pone aquí a cambiar cosas, por favor, Aidan, céntrate. Tenemos a Panda que consigue llevarse la baja de Wartex, que ya está con armas. El equipo de Panda que puede ganar por primera vez la batalla de mercado. Matan a Blade, se va a quedar únicamente con vida Rockstar. Del equipo de Panda que vuelven a noquear a Blade. Y Panda que está a punto de caer. Y aquí tenemos... Matan a Rockstar, que era el único que quedaba del equipo de Panda, que gana la fight, se lleva en la parte de mercado. Veremos si esto hace que el equipo de Panda suba posiciones. Nos hemos puesto el equipo de DC, que no sé, vale, digo, no sé si le ha petado el stream, que ya sabes que caen aquí en Manor, donde muchas veces el equipo de Enkeo va a pushear esto. El equipo de Enkeo que parece que va a pushear Market, El equipo de Enkeo que no va a pushear al equipo de DC, sino que va a pushear Market. Nos hemos quitado el equipo de Javi, que de los equipos que teníamos era el equipo que más abajo iba, que es algo que hacemos siempre, gente. El equipo que más abajo va, sea quien sea, nos lo quitamos. En este caso era el equipo de Javi. Luego si recuperan, lo subimos. El equipo de Enkeo contra el equipo de Panda, gente. El equipo de Panda que no tiene suficiente con matar al equipo de Rockstar, que ahora va a tener que matar al equipo de Enkeo. Enkeo que se lleva la baja de Panda, que se ha quedado muy aislado, se ha quedado muy solo, porque Volcom y Netod, no, Volcom y Resolve se han quedado en la parte de Market, tienen que retroceder, pero el equipo de Enkeo que va a jugar esto agresivo es un 3 contra 2 a favor del equipo francés. Panda que se verá al gulag contra FIFA Kill. Ya Panda que creo que le han tirado un reventabúnkeres. Panda que pierde el gulag contra FIFA Kill. Y el equipo francés de Enkeo que va a seguir pusheando a Volcom y Resolve. A Panda que le han tirado un reventabúnkeres o le han tirado algo que le ha obligado, creo que a pushear, porque ha pusheado solo contra los 3 del equipo de Enkeo. Del equipo de Enkeo que mata a Volcom, mata a Resolve. Y esto va a ser equipo aniquilado. Y el equipo francés que acaba matando al equipo de Panda. Y justo cuando el equipo de Panda consigue ganar la fight por la parte de mercado, viene el equipo de Enkeo, que en lugar de pushear Manor, que lo hace de vez en cuando, ha pusheado al equipo de Panda en mercado. Ya han acabado cayendo. Tenemos a Resolve contra Vex en el gulag. Resolve que tenía el gulag ganado y le acaba perdiendo. Resolve que tenía el gulag ganado y creo que al apoyarse se le ha ido a la aim assist, no sé muy bien qué ha pasado, pero acaba perdiendo el gulag cuando ya lo tenía casi ganado. Y Volcom que ha ganado el suyo. Volcom que se queda totalmente solo. Volcom que no puede morir, porque si Volcom muere antes de caer sería top 40 para el equipo de Panda. El equipo mexicano que por suerte, que es lo que hemos comentado entre partida y partida, que dentro de lo que cabe, hoy los equipos tienen ese margen para aclimatarse a lo que es jugar un mundial presencial de $1 millón. Luego cuando acabe el día de hoy van a poder ir al hotel, van a poder hablar errores, van a poder adaptarse un poco a los equipos que les están matando, van a poder comentar cosas que están haciendo mal para arreglarlas. Y mañana, ya en el día final, en la gran final, en formato matchpoint, ya venir con los deberes hechos de lo que hablen esta noche, para mañana no cometer los mismos fallos y venir ya con todo. Así que hoy no podemos dar por muerta a nadie, gente. Por muy mal que esté jugando el equipo de Panda, por muy mal que esté jugando el equipo de Noobs, hoy no podemos dar por muerto a nadie, porque mañana las cosas pueden cambiar mucho. Y tenemos a Volcom que ha conseguido revivir a Panda y a Resolve.
Quick look at the map after a nice win there. Seemingly that's what's been happening all day. FaZe is doing okay, so let's see if they can come out of it a lot better for it this time around. But quick look at the map as expected again to the eastern side, and well, look at where Omit EU is already over there hanging out in Bazaar. That's that red one, so watch out for that squad, a top 3 team right now. Again, Team Community, Falcons, Omit EU on top right now. And a quick look at Aiden's squad. Again, a team that's just barely lurking outside of now maybe into 5th place, but just outside of the top 5, looking at our leaderboard. They're right there. They're in the mix. The question is, how many people rotate to Superstore the last couple maps? It's not been enough to put them at the top of the leaderboard.
It really hasn't, and honestly, Bubble CT, Louis CM, Wars, I would love to see some good games out of them starting here. And when you find yourself between 2 squads, especially Noobs on the other side alongside Stevo and Patsuka, this is one of those things where you're out in the open. If you blow through all of your resources, such as smokes, you can get completely caught out.
Yeah, and we talked about it on the analyst desk. That Vitality squad is actually one of the other teams I was talking about that's not in the top 5 that people expected to be there. With Noobs in the roster, they've been performing fantastic, but it's when they win high rise. So now rotating out, we'll see with a new drop spot they do better, but as we swing back over to the middle of the map yet again, we're seeing a ton of action here, and I think that XMQ squad from the APAC just got full wipe. maybe have a chance in the gulag as Tap, Johnny Bro, Strixie trying to make a name for themselves in this competition, in trouble, getting shot in the back.
Yeah, this is what's going to be tough, right? Especially when Tap and Johnny, they kind of swamp on it in, but Sage, we saw how aggressive they just were, and they want to keep that moving forward. Sage was actually fragging over the Team Falcons players in general, and when you think back to some of the content I've seen put out from the Call of Duty community, Sage was one of the very last players to be interviewed when talking about the solo YOLO. He's like, it's me, I'm him, I'm going to win. And now we're starting to warm things up just on day number 1 in this series. Before we get there, I'm so excited to see what swag Adrian and Sage can bring to the table. Sage has already won once, he knows what it takes.
Yeah, he definitely knows what it takes. And that FaZe squad was doing okay, like I said before, pretty mediocre performance, nothing bad. Again, this is day 1, it's not all she wrote, but you could certainly earn some points. So we'll see if maybe they can jump into the top 10 after this map. They've got some nice momentum, but back to some of our top slaying teams, at least in our regional finals. This squad a hair quiet as well comparatively. We've got to remember that this squad was one of the highest fragging teams across all divisions across the board, a really strong squad who's had a fairly quiet day today. And I wonder if it's because military hasn't been quite as active as they expected it to be. I mean, that flank squad, that blast squad has rotated out a little bit more aggressively than usual, at least headed further down south to get into the mix, try to change some things up when things aren't going their way as well. But again,
el equipo de la América es el número 18 que está aquí. Tiene a 3, tiene el equipo
It really is, but when you think about military base, like you were just mentioning, you do, of course, have a couple squads. You have Na'Vi, you have FaZe Black. They're still trying to get out from the north, and we see where the Falcons have rotated and nearby that bridge. When you think about other areas on the map and teams still trying to find good positions to claim for that endgame, Huskers, Brolic, Jackal, the squad that, you know, has been through a lot, and anytime you throw Brolic in the mix as well, just one of the most consistent players to pick up. I have seen crazy things out of him since the days of CDLR.
Yeah, Dave Samir, CT Red right around the corner. Good call on FaZe Black, by the way. I thought they were going to hightail it down to Super. They actually turned back around and stayed in military, but to a fight we go with Dave Samir. And a lot of fans of Dave Samir on in our floor sitting over here to my left. I hear him cheering a ton for Dave Samir. Had a great interview with him. And so far, a very quiet fight right now because you just don't want to make the first mistake. Z-Dark their Slayer. But right now, slaying nothing but time. This is a quagmire of a fight that's going to take a while because right now you can't give away a good position in Village.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about what they've done. You know, you've got Huskers team that's kind of trying to bait, right? They have that portable buy station. They've thrown down the mountain. They're trying to lay a trap, so if that push does occur, they'll be ready.
Well, the Falcons on our screen, we're going to head down to Miles with Vegas Inferno, unfortunately dropping first.
Al top 1 y al...
Thanks very much, guys.
No, mami.
This is out of the way. That's for you. Not what you want, but how's things going so far?
We're just looking to break things down. We got to make it simpler, get a loadout, and start making it to late game. Right now, we're testing different drop spots and trying to get really dialed for tomorrow for match point. I think now's the time to get stuff out of the way.
I like some of that. Anything you've noticed so far in these games that your game plan is going one way, but everything in the match is going the other?
I mean, we're just trying to figure shit out and take it from there. There's nothing, I don't know, we just gotta lock it in.
Time to lock it in. Well, man, wish you the best of luck. Thanks so much for your time. Good luck in the next one. To the costs.
Thanks so much, Miles. On screen while it's all happening. Future, brutal. I hate it for you, but on screen right now, the Falcons in trouble, or maybe Omit NA in trouble. Talk about a storyline for the ages. A lot of back and forth between those two teams, with the Falcons able to wipe Omit NA. I think they have a gulag, but to more action we go, as per the usual. We love to see Dongi slay out. This is exactly what we expect from this squad. Hunting the edge of zone tip. This is two different stories of the same Warzone game. You have the community team continuing to find kill after kill after kill on the edge of zone. High risk equals reward, at least this time around.
Look, I am loving what I'm seeing out of community, but the Falcons have been getting on that aggressive nature. You see the overall standings. Community came into match number 4 above the Falcons, and as it stands, Team Falcons are starting to answer back. But this rotation in from community through the south, straight into their next threat. You jump back on over to that FaZe roster. Sage on 4, Adrian on 5. Team Super Evan just in the lines of their sight. This Sage, though, playing this really smart, trying to get across the road, and maybe we invest streaks. Maybe we just send Adrian in from the above like a SEAL Team 6.
Oh, this is going to be one that they talk about later when they're out to dinner together. This is the Super Evan squad getting wiped by Swag's team, likely. We'll see it. There it is in the kill feed. by Super Evan, and I don't even know if he was in it. Oh wait, Super Evan's by himself somewhere, maybe into the gulag already against Blast. Even still, team not fully eliminated technically, but the rest of your team, Super Evan, the Wolf, you gotta be a lone wolf on the map apparently somewhere and try to regain it. I wish you good luck, my friend. It's gonna be very difficult with 64 players still on this map, and further east we go, and a little bit more northern, heading out of Bazaar and up to the new zone. It does look like that FLS squad is still alive. We're gonna take a look at this gulag too, because we'll see as Evan gets wiped, by the way. This is a must-win gulag if you want to keep your life on this map. Will you beat King AJ? We got 1 HP in a dream. Who's going to win it? It's going to be Autorize. A couple missed shots, and then the execution. Somehow, some way, that Team Super Evan is still in this map, barely. As we take a look to our left-hand corner of our screen, Omit NA, that is a full wipe on them from what I understand. I believe they are out of this lobby.
Heartbreaking, a squad that can perform to the highest of standards, but I just haven't seen it yet, and I know that we do have more games for them, but for that Team COD community, they're still rotating in. We just passed Bazaar. We're working our way into farms where, if you think about a rotation, we are actually mirroring that Vitality and the Omit EU squad, and the cost of being so far out into the open and neighboring that out of bounds line is kind of scary, because one person just needs to lay wind of you and they will be absolutely able to decimate you.
Yeah, this is such a fun fight we're about to see.
Está cayendo el downgrade por la derecha. Estos se ponen la pila, los van a
chacanear. They get to end-game and then find the kills. They're finding him. Everyone wants to come to this direction, and they go, well, there's nobody here. We're free. There's nobody behind us in this pipe. Oh, sorry. Inkyo, one of our top fraggers today, finding 5, almost 6 in that one, with one of the best spots in farms right now. If it pulls to the south side where they are right now, this will be a win for Omit EU. There's still a lot of ground to make up, and you've got to check your flank. A lot of teams are going to want this spot, but with the signal flare in the sky that they are there, it's going to be a lot more difficult to take.
Yeah, look, their ability to predict where this is going, you know they've spent a lot of time VOD reviewing and trying to relay that information and grab all of that, but Sage, the hyper-aggressive, we don't get fooled here, and we preemptively start that self-res and get the tap so we can preserve that. And I love what I'm seeing out of them, but keep an eye on squad number 23. They decided to kind of poke just at them, but we start going back up north. Little Mario has to fight someone else, and I couldn't be remiss to say that this squad is going to get involved in this, or we focus on our rotation to get around all of this.
A Little Mario getting into the mix, got through in the LCQs, picked up Leonard for the LCQs, and Leonard goes, man, I gotta like ask for time off of my day job, and then makes it here to LAN. Excited to see this team maybe put some better scores for the rest of the day. Try to earn some points for tomorrow. But you've got FaZe on the other side, and they are hot right now, and unfortunately for you, I would not want to go up against a hot FaZe team. Yes, they are hot and cold, but when they are hot, this team is dominant. Watch out for Adrian, Sage, and Swag already on pushing probably 15+ kills. I think just Sage and Adrian together have 13. If Swag has any, this is a fantastic game for FaZe, and it's what they needed to get right back into the mix in top 10.
Exactly, and when you're sitting with a 1.4x multiplier and this many eliminations already, and you say, I want the rotation before I want those eliminations, but look who is back, right? Huskers, after taking a lot of damage from that Omit EU roster, is trying to put the pain down on the Sage, burning alive, dancing around, ultimately falls. Adrian's health's really low. We need the self-res to come through, and we need a clutch by Swag.
Swag's always good for a clutch, at least won a tournament, and right now in trouble from multiple angles, and it's not enough. I believe FaZe is out of this lobby with a good game, not the great game they needed. Likely still right probably outside of top 10, but close enough. Huskers out of here. We see COD Community fully wiped as well. Unrational gone. This is going to open up the door of opportunity for Omit EU, maybe Team Echo, Team Aiden, if they're still in it, to potentially make some moves past Team COD Community. But look who's on win condition already. Falcons have made the rotation. They love this out of bounds line. We've seen them here before. They got second last time in nearly this identical position. Let's see if they can win it this time.
Second, then they go on to win a map, and now we're sitting in the 4th game, and it's going to be really interesting to see. Yes, we looked at the north, but we have to turn our attention towards the south. This is the difference of not taking that ultimate contest at the beginning, right? And look, they've made it to endgame. Their biggest threat is that Omit EU roster that's just ahead of them, and not even that Echo on the other side.
Yeah, this is 3rd versus 4th versus wherever this team is, and apparently changing your drop spot worked out. You made it to top 10. Big multiplier in hand. A decent amount of kills, but not enough to really write home about. We need to pick up this Echo team in transition. It's going to open up the leaderboard even more. You've got a great spot.
Ese aéreo fue muy bueno, ese UAV avanzado.
Can't go any further back, at least not that direction. The problem is you've got to pay attention to Omit EU, and they see an opportunity. They're going to make a push. Stuo getting into the mix, trying to find the Frenchman. Will he find one? Yes. Will he find two? No. He's yet again clutch in a moment, taking down this squad. Now Noobs last alive.
Heeds, I doubted you once on that rotation. You proved me wrong, and you are looking so good right now for Noobs, the super sub here, last alive for that roster. But keep an eye out on that western side of the circle. Still two teams that are going to be hailing from that side, and Nano currently over from that LATAM, still going in on it.
Yeah, big rotation there. You got to watch out. Again, that Echo squad, a top 5 team right now, made it into the top 8. We just saw Navi get eliminated, by the way, off screen. They got about 9th place overall. Noob's going to try to play spoiler to the Omit EU team, trying to get victory. A 1v3, this is not going to go well. He needs to pick up at least 1 in transition. Frankly, for the rest of this leaderboard, we've got to make sure Omit EU doesn't win this, or they're going to start jumping up this leaderboard and be hard to catch for the rest of these teams.
How
Noobs, he's good at playing his life. It's not good enough, though. Omit EU on top, at least for now, made it into the top 6. Top 5 is our next multiplier. This is going to be a big one for the rest of these teams, as we see a CT Red get eliminated in 6. All of these teams walking away with at least a 1.8.
Omit EU set their sights onto the next threat as they rotate on in, wiping Team Echo, the 3rd place squad and the 4th place team on the leaderboard, going at it. But Grom still has a good bit of a way to go, 1.8x multiplier. But how are you going to rip the Falcons out of their nest?
Did we see the heat maps? They get the kills in the end game over and over and over again. Top 5 and in trouble. We smoke and run, and apparently hay bales. You don't need needles. They cover bullets. Why not? We've got Nano on the other side, who's in a really good position right now. Right now, the Falcons need Nano to somehow play spoiler to this Omit EU squad, so it's not a true 3v3. But look at the zone pull, Tiff, wide out in the open, and this time no LTV around.
Ooh, the mobile buy station, the smoke to use it. We want resources for that end game, reuniting alongside Gromalok here. Have some ammo, have some resources, everything that we're going to need for some of these final battles. But we're all just kind of Spider-Man memeing it out, pointing at each other. And what the Falcons have done as well, they wiped their side of the circle.
Yeah, LCQ, I'm sure Shifty was talking some smack on that one. You have to go back, watch it on stream. Gets a nice win there. 3 teams of 3, a true 3v3v3. What a way to go out here for map number 4. I don't love any of these positions because, well, there's no cover. The question is who makes the first move and who makes the first mistake. It does look like the Falcons have the high ground. They do technically have zone. They want to make a move here. Ahsoka is probably playing on out of bounds line. Does make a move over to Inkyo and gets cleanup. An advantage to the side of the Falcons in a really good position to win this. I'm just going to try to find kills off the left-hand side. These are all worth 1.8, folks. These are huge. Now at 2v2v3, the Falcons on high ground. The Falcons likely winning this one. The question is how many kills they pick up in this final fight.
Wait, with the PDS play from Heeds and Gromalok, and Falcons descend from above straight on to Nano. This is going to come down to the Falcons and Omit EU. Keep an eye on Biffle right now, especially with Gromalok going down to the sights setting in the sky.
The Falcons on top, and we can see it in the top right-hand corner of our screens. Those score tallies going up and up and up, and we've lost one. It does look like Gromalok was able to find Shifty. This one is not over yet, but the question is how long can you remain in the gas? Probably not very long. One more goes down, a 2v1, and how about off the heady? Falcons on top, back to back with a lot to say. Well done, Falcons. We knew it was going to be happening at some point in this tournament. Apparently, it is right now.
A back-to-back as the Falcons fans celebrate at the front here to support them. A 50% win rate in our current series, 4 games.
De ventaja para el día 2. Veremos, a ver si podemos ver los kills que se ha hecho el equipo de Biffle. A ver si podemos verlo. 4 kills para el equipo de Panda. Biffle, enseña los kills. 22 pepardos. 22 cucurellas. 44 puntos para el equipo de Biffle, que van a conseguir el top 1. El equipo de Biffle, que habían empezado, no voy a decir mal, porque tampoco han empezado mal, vamos a ser realistas, pero no han hecho, sobre todo la segunda, no han hecho una partida tipo
ponerse primeros al 100%. Ya estaban primeros, así que si hacen los dientes que le meto. 22 kills top 1 han hecho. Pues son 44 puntos. Más puntos que los que me van a dar mañana, ¿eh? La verdad merecido por lo bocazas que es el enkeo. La pilla muy bien el Hisoka, ¿eh? ¿Hisoka puede legalmente llamarse así? Es que creo que es nombre de un anime. Da igual, o sea, es como mi nombre. Soki no es un nombre original. Pero es que se podrá llamar así porque, aunque Hisoka sea nombre de un anime, seguramente es un nombre de alguien real, ¿sabes? O sea, el nombre como tal no tiene derechos para no poder llamarte así, ¿sabes? Pero usarlo en camisas y eso, da igual, mientras no ponga el anime en sí, ¿no? Mientras sea merchan original suyo, ¿qué más da, no? Es que yo creo que el equipo de Enkeo quería pushear al equipo de Biffel, Shifty y Soka, pero no han podido porque estaban los brasileños disparando de lejos, ¿sabéis? Ese ha sido el problema. Y como estén en el monte, pues simplemente han esperado y ya está. Qué mal me caen los franceses estos. Aparte en que es un comunista. Literalmente comentario de mi cuñado, ¿sabes? Ahí ha sido buena kill a Shifty, pero estaban los dos en head glitching, en zona, tenían las de ganar ellos. Solo tenían que hacer tiempo. Solo queda Agromalo, que estaba muy encerrado. Y lo dice uno que se llama Chino, se queja de comunismo. Si los señores hubiesen dejado subir al monte, hubieran aprovechado los brasileños después. Sí, claro. O sea, yo creo que ahí los brasileños tenían que haber dejado que crucen para que se peguen entre ellos. Y mientras ellos se pegaban, avanzar ellos. Era buena esa, ¿eh? Y aparte soy cubano, entonces mal. ¿Hasta qué hora durará? Nos faltan 2 partidas y el solo YOLO, así que échale 2-3 horas más. Hasta las 3-4 nos vamos a dormir. A ver.
Es su pinche madre, pinche mundial más.
Mira, ¿ves?
largo
En la camiseta
que...
pone Soka, pues ya está. Tiene un colgante. Mira, ese colgante que pone Soka. Pone Soki, en verdad, ¿eh? No enfoca la cámara, ¿eh? No enfoca. Vaya mierda de cámara, ¿eh? Ojo, Shifty. Quiero ver qué dice. Pero vamos a poner el canal con audio. A ver qué dice. Está aquí en teoría, pero ¿se ha caído el directo o qué? A ver. Si carga, ¿no?
Now we're starting to get going, man, and these guys are fucking horrible. I mean, yeah, these guys, we get to land and they forget how to fucking play. You know, we're dealing with a little bit of PC issues, but now we're kicking, we're alive.
Dice que han tenido problemas con el PC y que han vuelto. Y que son basura, en plan que son malísimos.
Manera de expresarse un cabrón de eso, ¿no?
It feels like a few minutes ago I spoke to Biffle. Is there anything you're looking for in the next game? Anything you're looking out for?
Nah, I mean, we're just going to play our game. You know, next game you guys will be talking to Soka because we're going to win again. You know, we want to finish off today strong.
Que confían en Hisoka que van a ganar otra vez.
Slow, like D was saying. I just told him let's get our pace.
Hisoka crack.
And win another game. So let's just fucking win these next two. I mean, Falcons on top. Everybody knows we're the team.
Dice que Falcos son los mejores, que van a intentar ganar las 2 partidas que quedan y ya está. Bueno, que van a ganar las 2 partidas que quedan.
Right, good luck, man. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. It's back to the decks before we get in trouble.
Es muy tonto, también os digo, es muy tonto. Ganó Falcos en Warzone, pero no en Rocket League. ¿Qué le pasa al Yuki? Está ahí medio dormido. A ver, si no hay tanto descanso entre partidas, Es un querido de puta madre, que niño. A ver, en verdad, no creo que piense así de verdad. Yo creo que lo hace para dar show. Pero vamos, que... la típica de jugar el papel de malo, ¿no?
played than Hisoka, which is insane because he always wins in the biggest of moments. You were talking about his history in World Series of Warzone in general. The guy's never, been out of top 3 ever in the history of World Series of Warzone?
He hasn't been. And the crowd, I mean, look, everyone's waking up. We're starting to see some remnants of Urzikstan, the map. Hello. It's so good to see you over there, Zaravan City. Let's head to the north and, well, let's head to a potential game number 5 because it's time to get ready. Advanced starting points on the line. And well, we've got to give the people what they want, and that's going to be match number 5.
Urzikstan dropped for the Warzone community 283 days ago, but we're finally here for map 5. The Falcons on top. Shifty having earned $500 a day since this map dropped. He is the most earned Warzone player in history on Urzikstan with over $150,000 earned as an individual. This team is on top. Can anyone cut down the Falcons? I'm sure a lot of folks at home think this squad can tip. We had a big conversation on Pulse Check and on the timeline about who's number 2, right? If we're playing for second, which is not necessarily the case, but if it is, who is number 2? A lot of folks say Aiden.
I highly recommend it. They've been looking so final form to me over the past couple of weeks, just increasing their odds, getting better, challenging them, and it's just a matter of time before that actually occurs. And you know how many times I've seen DJ Moss kind of walking around in Vegas? I almost feel like it's a premonition or something, a sign telling me maybe he's gonna win the solo YOLO or something. I'm not even sure, but I've seen him more than anyone else.
Yeah, I think so too. And back to Bazaar we go. Take a look at the top left-hand corner of your screen, by the way. Can we get a cheer for not an Eastern Zone? We've got something new on our hands. We might be headed to City. Things could get shuffled around, and on paper, this is a really weak stat, but I believe that City drops, City end zones, are actually the Falcons' worst performing end zone. So there is a pretty good chance we could see a new victor here and not a back-to-back-to-back. Yes, reminder, the last 2 maps, Falcons did win those. They were a little while ago, but they have a chance to go back-to-back-to-back, and whether that's a three-peat, a hat trick, or maybe if you're into bowling, that's a turkey. We'll see.
A turkey. Yeah, you're not wrong. One thing that's going to stay consistent, though, is the Battle of Bazaar. This time, we're investing not only bunker busters, we're calling in the mortars. And even though we did rework the bunker buster strategy, and you can't call in 2, it'll be airspace too crowded, just 1 should be enough because it is so vital to be able to lay siege and force people off a rooftop and maybe into a favorable position where you're just going to feed up a staircase. But I love that we got Pentagon here already kind of jumping out windows, clearing some of these rooms out, but we just have to lay our eyes on it because Fuzzin's already found 1.
Yeah, a lot of eyes on the Germans right now. A whole country cheering them on, and somewhat mediocre day thus far, but certainly a team that can make some waves in the latter half of this event, at least in day 1. Quick pickup on 1. Should be a clean team wipe here, no problem in just a moment. But I try to find the third, and a couple thermites might root them out. No fastball specials this time around, but this is just a matter of time before their third gets cut down as we get a quick revive on Melvin.
I kind of like what they were doing, though, right? They go to the train, they hit the buy station, they try to get their loadout so they can get their weapons they feel more comfortable with, because clearly this Pentagon roster already has theirs, but it doesn't matter. They already feel confident enough to just go ahead, cross that distance, and really wreak havoc to that squad. And then you think about Neto here, just over in Shaheen Manor. Think of the squads that do usually traverse this area, and that's going to be that omit EU roster that like to loot around and kind of rotate in, but we're down below, right? We're kind of in the catacombs.
Yeah, this is way down far on the right-hand side of the map, bottom right-hand corner on Manor. I have a quick look at our map feed, though, and I would love to take a look at Aiden if we can. Aiden's team has actually already rotated way out of Superstore because they know it's likely going to be City. They are way down at the south side of Lowtown, and they're fighting Destroy out of nowhere. A big swing, and now Aiden in trouble is going to look for his teammates. Z-Smith, DJ Mouse right there laying in wait, trying to bait out the third.
Look, these are both very vocal rosters, you know, Destroy can pop off, always known for the vibes and such, and you can only imagine that they're looking to set up that pinch, but Aiden on the outskirts here tries to get DJ Moss back on his feet, but after the crack, it should help, but Nate Dogg looks to make that wrap around DJ Moss. Aiden gets the trade. Can we take Raul, too?
How about 1-2? Where's the third? Destroy trying to play cleanup, gets 1. C-Spin with the trade. Team Aiden on top for a reason. A top 5 team today and looking very strong with a very aggressive rotation. This is a little bit different from what we've seen from them because of the zone. They've been hanging out in Superstore for 3 zones in the last couple maps, but now they're headed to City. They knew they needed to move quickly, and they're able to do so.
Look, if you can cause a breakdown over here at gas station and keep on rotating as we look at that next circle, of course you've got 2 teams out towards Team Aiden's right, and then even one when you've got Destroy Squad still trying to make that regain. They just popped up over by that low town area, but we're going to keep on scouting and rotate. Now, you did say that this is notoriously one of the Falcons' worst kind of rotating areas, and you have to keep an eye because right now they're still in pop-off power, keeping with that macro strategy that they know and love. But how are they going to carve out? Are we going to go towards the east, drop it down towards Lowtown, and maybe come in at the Saravan suburbs like we see? Or will they go down south to Cargo?
Yeah, the big numbers here, by the way, again, Omit EU is #1 in red. They've already rotated all the way over to City towards in-game as expected, right? We know what they do every single time. They go to in-game and wait on the kills, and they all come to them. Next to them, though, is that Community team at High Rise, still their drop spot. What that means for us, by the way, is that Team Community is going to have a slower game in terms of kills because they are already in the in circle. Everybody else is going to come to them. They're going to look to find kills just like Omit EU. That same kind of sides of the coin thing that I was talking about before, that's all scrapped. They're going to play the same game, waiting on in-game, looking for those kills in City.
Well, speaking of waiting, Gabe Kuhn on your screen flanked off in the distance. And, well, when you've got a 3 squad underneath you here, and they're just looking. They're pretty much playing hide and seek, and Gabe doesn't want to be found. If you're gonna break a 1v3 down, oh my God, Nectar, okay, you knew exactly where he is. Never mind, you're not even trying to find him, you knew.
Yeah, it looks like teammates off into the distance, nobody can help here, so a quick cleanup here in Seaside. Keep roaming around this zone. We got a lot of folks rotating in. Off screen, you're seeing Aiden go all the way down now into suburbs, creeping up towards the bottom part of these teams. An early rotation proving fruitful. The Falcons on the north side, by the way, still slowly creeping down with nobody in sight. So we won't see the Falcons on main stage for a while. I'm just going to update you now. We'll check in with him when we need to. But to the sides of the other Falcons, the Falcons MENA team, hunting down Vitality again. This Vitality team was a team that a lot of folks said was a top 5 squad, and they have had 0 success today.
They really have. It's quite unfortunate. And Allman still pushing the issue here, trying to find Stevo, and he dives out into the water, a brilliant dolphin dive, but now you see the cross coming through, and Allman's like, you know what? I've got to take what I can get. I'll pistol you down, don't think I won't. It gets personal, and he grabs it.
It's like, I don't even have a good analogy. It's like spearfishing, except it's just your body. You just come flying out of the air, land on and pick up the kill. This is Seaside, though. This is way out on the outside of the map, bottom left corner of the map, by the way. They're going to have to rotate up a little bit depending on this new zone. So we're going to try to take a look at this map as it moves from 2 to 3. This will really tell us where in zone's going to be, as it looks like this German squad is on their feet looking for a bit more action. Because, again, this is a little bit more in their area of modality. This is where they tend to thrive. You could see the Germans have a pretty good map.
Yeah, we got Pentagon on your screen here, and they were sitting at about that 18th place, which, quite frankly, not going to cut it for themselves. So to start kicking things into gear here would be quite nice, especially when you've got that squad just around them. But they've already invested the mortars. They want to clear off the roof, and, well, that's going to try to be that threat to let them lay siege. But you just see in the distance their Future parachuting on away. They're like, we've invested too much time here. Let's focus on our end game.
Yeah, the home team, Vegas Inferno, are out of here. They said, yeah, I'm not interested in that fight. Off screen, I was going to say, this Falcon squad, they have had a big rotation. I believe they hit a zip across the water over to Old Town, fighting Cloud9. This is where Cloud9's been dropping all day today, and it hasn't been working great. And now down 1, you know these sharks are swimming towards their prey. There's blood in the water, and this is what the Falcons are probably calling free kills at this point. We'll see what Cloud9's able to do. Joe Movement King, unfortunately, when you get live ping, Biffle picks up the live ping. Ahsoka through the smoke, finishes him off. Very well done from the Falcons to make this Cloud9 squad even weaker.
Yeah, it's really tough. The only one left standing, Foreign Jace, grabs a vehicle and is just trying to get out of dodge. But that's a roster that when you think about that Falcons interview, right, they were talking about how free Cloud9 actually is. Maybe one of the most overhyped teams, and they're not where they want to be on the leaderboard. But if I'm going to have a bad bad day, let it be day one. There is so much more at stake tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a couple of quick notes looking at our map. We're about to move into this new zone. You can take a look at it shortly. We're kind of actually headed up towards bottom of Seaport. That bridge, seaside, Seaport, top side of city is likely we're going to end up. This is going to be a very interesting zone. On the far right-hand side of that zone, you're going to have Na'Vi gatekeeping some of those squads, maybe even the Falcons. And on your screen right now, this is the squad that's been here since the beginning. And, well, they're doing community things. They are finding kills even when they've been here since the beginning. And this could be a slower game for them. They are trying to hunt their opponents because they know and they have the confidence to say we are the best team here. We know we can push fights even if we have a disadvantage like low ground.
Look, I mean, this is the squad. They start on that ultimate high ground. They're just on the outskirts of their drop spot, but they have to be smart about where they're going for their engagements in order to rack up those eliminations, because we know they need a record-breaking game again to at least thrust themselves to the top of the leaderboard. They were 20 so points away from the Falcons, and you can't imagine that the Falcons are going to have a, less than 20-point game because they've already dropped their double digit, their 10, right?
Yeah,
that was uncharacteristic of them. So you have to not only overperform for yourself, but outperform the Falcons in order to breach that points disparity.
Well, one of the other things we know about city circles, albeit it might be a hair north of city, is that there's going to be a lot of teams alive as we move towards the end game. Currently in the mid game, we've only lost 6 teams and nearing still 100 players on the map. We're going to likely be still around 70 moving into circle 5, pending where this next zone goes. If it continues to head northern and as far west as we can go, there's going to be a lot of folks in the water, and it's going to get real weird real quick towards the end game. So I'm kind of biding my time as well, taking a look at this one. We do see Aiden's team being contested. I was worried this was going to happen. I didn't know it was going to happen this quickly. The Falcons find Aiden and pick him up, no problem. Now with the player advantage, they're going to try to push the equation as per the usual. Looking for the rest of this team as Zsmith gets cut down. Where is DJ Moss? Somehow the rat scurried out, hit the water, and maybe swam across the road.
That's exactly what I would do. I would look for a regain, and you can see DJ Moss just underneath the bridge, just trying to get out, find a way to get the teammates back on in. Aiden Zsmith in the gulag, but hey, you never know. Will they be able to bring the benefits? But DJ on the stairs here, a smoke to give him a little bit of reprieve. But we don't seem to have too many resources, so hopefully Aiden versus Robstar in the gulag, we can get on out.
All right, another gulag look. This is a big one. Rob's team's been doing pretty well thus far. I think they've won, I guess, 50-50 on their drop spot. Aiden's going to try to maintain his position in the top 5, though, looking for this first fight. Pre-fires, misses. Rob misses as well. A nice crack. Aiden pushed the equation. Nice win. Hard to beat Aiden in the gulag, especially on land.
Zsmith wins his gulag as well, so a nice full reset there for Team Aiden. And, well, now that they find themselves on the outside looking in, and as that circle starts to shore up more towards that western side of things, the rotation for them is going to be difficult. They're on the same side of the circle as the Falcons, who are still trying to get across that bridge after their first engagement with Team Aiden. But where do we go and who do we look at? Team Omit EU, they've already found themselves dead center of zone.
Yeah, this zone is proving very difficult for the rotation that the Falcons decided to take, which is up into Old Town, but they are hunting Edge of Gas. They are used to that. They're used to pub stomping. Sometimes they pub stomp in customs, and we'll see if they're finding a lot of eliminations along the way, because you're right. They have to come all the way through kind of the east mid side of the map back into the west rather than coming down the other side through Seaport. So I'll be curious to see how many kills they have and if anybody gatekeeps them. But instead, we're going to take a look here with Aiden and do a quick listen in to see where their brains are at right now, considering they have a bit of a free spot on the edge of zone, pending how they rotate in.
Throwing it inside second.
Yep. And I'm gonna drone like our row. Oh, the drone's on the buy, bro. Fuck.
I got a drone.
Okay.
I gotta come back up and grab that real quick.
I wanna grab this one though. I'm gonna grab that real quick, okay?
There's only a team of 2 in blue ping. Like,
okay, we need to go then. We need to go.
Yeah, we gotta go. 2. They're on third.
Come on. Let's go for it right now. Let's go.
They mortared us. Somebody mortared us. I'm throwing another smoke.
Yeah. I might have got live. I'm hitting timer here.
I'm throwing smokes. I have that kid.
I need more smokes if you have.
I have here. I'm throwing east each. Ready? In this window.
Only 2?
I gotta check. I'm trying to make it up to you guys.
I'm out of plates too.
I'm right in this window. Here. I dropped you 3. I have another 3.
I'm looking on the recon.
I have 2. It's still 2. It's still 2. Still smoke. Come on.
Yep. Let's get in there.
Right on these windows. Right on me. Hitting on me.
You can go up the stairs right here on me. Right up on me. Come. I'm chowing up. You guys with me? There's a lot of headies.
went in the room. They could be camping in the room.
Yeah, like down low. Yeah,
There's smokes out here.
Yeah, we're good. We're in a good spot. I think we play holds here, bro.
Yeah, right here. Look.
It's in dealer too. Okay.
Shoot it. One. Other one here. Yep. Crack him. They're both in that tunnel, bro. Can you not peek down there and kill him?
Look over here to the right.
Right here. Look.
Okay,
I'm looking right.
Oh, these guys are all in the open on the lives. Yeah. Over here on the right too.
All right, so here's what we're seeing. A lot of cohesion from this squad and the way that they're able to break down information from DJ Moss, not only saying, I think I got live, let me wait out the timer, and they do. They convert that. But while this is going on, let me just talk about the Falcons, and they are doing such work over on that outskirts of the zone to make sure that they clear out that side of the rotation. Not only do they take out Team Super Evan, they set their sights on other ones, and Aiden, well, they keep on crawling through it. Baba Huff down and out, and this is a game where I'm finally happy to see everything coming together for this roster.
Yeah, I gotta say, those might be the cleanest comms I've heard in a very long time. Very well done from this trio to be able to make it to the new zone. But again, the zone pulls further and further west, which means we are way out on the coast, just south of the bridge that connects it to Seaport District. So be curious to see what they can do. Here's a quick look at that replay, by the way. This is the team that was holding them. The Wolf on the other side gets cut down immediately with a tranquilizer dart as Ahsoka and the Falcons come swooping in and clean up this team with little to no problems. A great take, especially because Ev's team had been here for a while. We were watching it on the map, and a fantastic play from Soka and his teammates to get the full cleanup. The Falcons are on top for a reason. That was well executed to still have all three alive on one of the most difficult rotations they could take.
And here's why this is so important, right? When we look at that replay and we were sitting there with Team Aiden, this is all occurring within 100 meters of each other. They're still on that eastern side of things. And when you've got to think about how can we go all the way to the west, towards that coastline, through the squads like Omit EU that we know have been so consistent today, and a lot of our squads that are still kind of working towards that. Even teams like Team Echo still up and in it. They've decided to position themselves on that south side alone.
Here, here's a look at that map, by the way. Red 1, Omit EU. That is not a call sign for a Star Wars X-Wing, all right? Red 1 is in there, right in the middle of the zone, exactly where we expect in-game to be. They've done this every single map. They're on top for a reason. The Falcons on the other side are the exact opposite. They're on the edge of zone, having to rotate in far all the way to the western side. The longest rotation, frankly, you could probably take to this spot, and yet somehow, some way, they're likely going to be top 10, and maybe even more. Only time will tell. But Omit EU is not on the high ground in-game. They're actually on the low ground, and look who's right next to them. You've got Omit NA, who's had a mediocre performance today, looking to better that, but only with 2 alive.
Are we about to see some Omit on Omit violence?
That's
we saw just what that rotation looked like for Falcons, but from the south on that, we see Team Aiden, and this might bring them a little more success in terms of those kill points. We get punished for peeking out, but we don't fall there, and that's going to be so important, and now we can look to swing this and break this down. Aiden looking for double digits on 7.
Yeah.
This is going to be crucial as we navigate our way just on the outer edge. We're still going further west.
Everybody's doing the same thing. Look how many teams are on the edge of this zone. I told you this rotation was brutal. Aiden's team's able to get to this piece of cover first, but they still have a long way to go. And it looks like one team's already ahead of them. That orange 3, that's going to be that Uno Gaming squad partnering with West Esports. That's Nitod's, Dizzy, and Vita lying in wait, waiting for this rotation, and who will get there first is the big question. Look who's on top, by the way. Community's still in it, but it might just be Dongi last life for this team. Right now playing a solo. We know what Dongi can do. He can win 1v3s. We'll see if he can maybe pick up Savvy Ultra's entire team by himself, or maybe the help of a third party from Camps.
Look, Dongi doing what he does best, throwing down the PDS. He's on 7 eliminations, 4,500 damage. He gave his information away, and a 2v1 swing there. All that you could do was pick up even more, and when we think about those rotations and how much they're worth, and Soka on double digits, instead of going for the clean rotate towards the north, they say, we want more. We want to get all of the eliminations, as if that 44-point win wasn't enough for them.
Yeah, this is the problem when you force the Falcons to take the hardest rotation of the game by moving the farthest and running a marathon. They're finding so many kills along the way. It's 14 between 2. I'd love to take a look at Biffle and see where they're at, because they've made it to zone somehow. And look who's above them. It's Team Aiden. All 3 alive again, looking very comfortable as Team 24 comes rotating in and getting shot from about 17 different angles. We knew it was going to be chaos in this zone, but now the final, the new, is actually wide out in the open comparatively. So the fight for this building is just for the fight, so you don't have anybody shooting you in the back.
It's all Team Aiden, it's all Team Falcons. It's been them since the dawn of this match number 5. Think about how many times we've seen them run into each other, and it's going to be the difference maker. But Aiden on the ground here, trying to hit that res, especially when you've got Team Echo looking to make their presence known.
Yeah, these are like some of the top teams. This is all top 5 teams right here, aside from Papa Vita. These are 3 of the top 5 right next to each other, all fighting for this side of the zone. Yet again, resource management, everything when it comes to the Falcons, and luckily, not really skillfully, they have so much cash in their pockets so they can buy whatever they need for this final fight. Somehow, some way, they took the hardest rotation and for free go to new, and they're in the new zone trying to find a semblance of a piece of cover. Right now, they've got to make sure they don't get shot in the back as they're trying to address the teams that are going to be jumping off this building with Omid EU running down the bottom side.
Meanwhile, that NA wildcard got wiped from the face of the earth to Team Echo, and they set their sights now on the remnants, but I saw that self-res going through, and they get cleaned up from the cross. Down and out we go. Omid EU, they still have high ground, likely making that PDS play from the inside, and well, the Falcons, Soka and Biffle, the duo without Shifty here, are going to go clean up crew and try to make sure we can grab as many, but here comes Omid EU.
Top 2 teams fighting, the top 2 teams today, the top 2 teams maybe on paper. Who's going to get better at each other? Ahsoka from behind wins the 1, wins the 2. Will he win it all? Yes! Shoots the bodies. The Falcons came to make a statement. They've already done it, and they're adding insult to injury.
Oh, Soka doing solo shenanigans, but Team Aiden still here as well, and they've got all 3 players upstanding. You do still have King, AJ, and Vision over towards that left, but honestly, I would not be shocked to see Soka try to run over some players if he can.
This is where the Falcons thrive, when all odds are against them. PDS is on the ground, and LTV, we've seen this before. Just watch out for those pinky toes, my man. He's doing some diving and dodging around this vehicle for some semblance of time to at least find an elimination. That's all he really needs to do, is either find eliminations or maybe get the buyback. We'll come back to it in a second, because Z-Smith, Aiden, they have an absolute banger on their hands. And in a 1v2 right now, you can only expect Team Aiden to win this, get the 2 times multiplier, jump up this leaderboard. This is a massive moment, but I gotta just say, you can never count out Ahsoka. Some crazy play, a couple thermites though. Ahsoka gets cut down. Team Aiden on top with a massive game. Z-Smith, DJ Moss came to make a statement of their own, and they've made it in map 5.
They do, and you can see Aiden's family right there, front and center, cheering him on. We know we got Maddie in the building and the entire DJ Moss fam. Z-Smith has had so much prowess throughout the history of competitive Warzone, whether it was a different format. I'm talking those kill races back in the day, the 2v2s, and to see him get a win here on the LAN stage, man, that just hits absolutely different.
It certainly does, and I gotta just say, I think they were listening to the broadcast. They said, "What? We haven't been in the limelight yet? How about we kill half the lobby and then win the map?" An absolute banger of a map with a 2x multiplier. I can only expect that to be one of the best games today. I think another massive game from the Falcons means they're up right now in their competition by, well, frankly, a whole dang lot. I think it's about 40 over second and third. So maybe we know who's going to get 40 points for tomorrow. But the big question, and still up for grabs, who's getting 30, 20, and counting, folks? A lot is on the line. The last game of trios today starts right now.
And the Falcons, right, in game number 6. Look, I mean, they breached that triple-digit mark not that long ago and are still trying to points gap the lobby here. And if we're just being able to see where they've gotten to, it's almost 150. And if you think of it, it's going to be that magical number for tomorrow to show you that if they can get 40 advanced starting points, what is that going to do? And how many games do we actually get on Call of Duty Warzone match point.
It's such a great point, folks. 150 points tomorrow is our threshold. The teams are getting 40, 30 and counting. The Falcons have dropped 146 in 5. What can they do in 6? Only time will tell. It looks like maybe there's a team trying to contest them as per the usual. Things have not been going well for that squad. At least not yet. That's Zach, Hollow, and Azen. They had a little glimpse of themselves in the limelight for a moment, getting second place in a map. But we'll see what they can do as we head back to Bazaar to see, well, what's the tally after 6? Who's going to win it this time? Is it a true 50-50? Or maybe this Robstar team will come in on top again over Panda and maybe have a good map to put them up into the tally. I think it's worth mentioning while we have just a second here, Tiff, of those points, we've got to remind ourselves that if you get 11th, you're getting 15 points for tomorrow. If you get 10th, you're getting 20. This is actually a pretty sizable leap. Reminder, as this fight's going on, there was like 10 teams within 4 points. 5 points could be huge.
Exactly, one good game can change the trajectory of your World Series of Warzone for tomorrow. And honestly, when you've contested each and every map, you're kind of not in a good position overall on the leaderboard. Usually you end up chalking both, but this squad, this Reply Totem, they still have the ability to hit a regain after this. Even with the influx of mortars kind of sending their way, we're still kind of looting around it and trying to piece apart the different squads as we go.
Yeah, and I will say, I'll give this Reply Totem team some credit. They have jumped up the leaderboard. Like we said, it's very, very tight margins. They have made it to top 10, so they are out on top in this Bazaar take. They were kind of chalking each other's games, but finally this team started to get some steam, which means their opposition, this Panda squad, not so much.
I mean, we've seen them towards that end game. Even think of the one the Falcons won over by Bathhouse in the center, but Blade getting ripped apart, falls in the stairway we go, and well, Panda through the door to clean it on up. Vortex trading out. This is just one of the most chaotic things I have ever seen on the LAN stage. But for Las Vegas Inferno, they're into some trouble themselves.
Oh, the home team getting cut down. It looks like Future has games. Last one alive, and just kidding, wins the fight. Omit in a mediocre performance thus far today. Unfortunately, cut down early. It's going to make it very difficult for them to jump this leaderboard dramatically in the final map when they're on their back foot already.
You have to be perfect tomorrow if that's going to be the case, but Bob Huff in the gulag looking for Bagel, and we're already investing our lethals, our smokes, but when Bagel full sends down that center lane, now we've got to locate them. Still not kind of sure where they went. We locate, we peek, we slide. Babo, come on, let's get it.
Able to find some and more. Can we win the pistol? Woo! Wow, that was way too close. Should have been a lot cleaner. Unfortunately for both of them, they were in the gulag and they still got to come back to the team, but a nice win from Bagel. We'll see what he's able to do when he gets back onto the map. A quick buyback, by the way, from Future there. So Bubba Huff will get right back into the mix. Destroy's team, we've seen him a couple times. Where are they on the leaderboard? I think they're a little ways down.
19.
This could be, they're at the middle of the pack as expected. This could be a big game for them, but they've got to get pretty aggressive here. No matter for points though, yeah, top 20, 15 points. 21st, 10 points. Every point counts.
It really does, and especially for Team Echo, we've seen them have a really powerful day here, currently sitting in 5th on the leaderboard. 30 starting points for tomorrow if we can maintain this, and quite frankly, the only difference maker would be is if we could get that first place, but that's 60 points or so away. They do like to start around this area, of course, as well as Team Community.
I've got a little bit of a hot take right now, Tim.
Okay.
Top 5, aside from first, are all getting the same amount of points.
Exactly.
And top 5, as we see some more eliminations come through, Husker's team getting some kills. Top 5 is separated. 5th is 25 points over 6th. Those margins are massive to overcome. We likely already know our top 5 going into tomorrow. We likely know the points they get. The big question mark is the rest of these teams that are just a hair's breadth away from each other, and points could cycle like 10, 15 some odd points could cycle between these teams. As we head to the gulag and Zank says, I don't need a gun. What the? Okay, yeah, sure. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. That's 2 gulags in a row and double wins for that team.
Hey, look, they needed to do exactly that, but Warris's team, they're in 33rd position on that leaderboard. Not going to be that start they wanted for themselves, and quite frankly, we know how good some of these teams that are maybe not having a solid day. So Super Evan, this squad over here, nor that outpost area, just a bit north of the bunker per se. We're kind of split out, still working on our journey throughout here, but I want to note something that we didn't actually get to talk about with this circle pulling towards the northwestern side. Omit EU actually went landing at Manor and went to Kotobo. That adaptability is critical, and well, Otterize, invest that streak. Let's get on over. Tabular, Strixie, and Johnny Bro, they want to fight.
And talk about a team that has been very quiet today, Team Super Evan. had some troubles today, looking to find a couple eliminations here early and then move up through Outpost and beyond. Again, like Tiff said, if you haven't looked at the map yet, it is definitely a map, a zone rather, that we haven't seen before, as a couple eliminations coming through. The Bunker Buster is actually able to clean up Johnny Bro, which means Tap, Strix are out of here. See you later. Maybe Otter could pick one up. Look, Otter told me yesterday he was going to snipe. Apparently he's changed things up after the first couple maps didn't go their way.
Sometimes you just gotta be adaptable throughout here, and Team Aiden, after that match win on the last game, they're still reaping eliminations. Team Community right now running into some trouble, but as we get this update on the circle, Omit EU, the red one on your screen, just on the outskirts of the eastern side of Kotovo, and that 5 is going to be the Falcons. They haven't left pop-off power, there's no reason to, and you have to keep an eye on Team Aiden. That's that 4 kind of coming in from that bridge. They've made the rotation from the Superstore side of things and crossed out into the south of Pop-Off.
Yeah, and you also see Team Community in the pink salmon, whatever it is, number 20, all the way up down at the bottom of the map, have moved up through a zip and into that Old Town, Low Town area. Likely going to see them popping up the kill feed quite a bit. There's a lot of teams holding them. See Almond falling in that kill feed. So if you take a look at another team we haven't seen in a little while, looks like Linen's being left behind as Juki's and FIFA Kill off to the races, trying to find some eliminations, and Tap in trouble. No, gets one. Does finally get cleaned up, but they lose a life. Gotta be a frustrating start right there. You got to get a clean kill there. Just losing that life and sending FIFA to the Gulag could be the difference maker in this game. This team is playing for a lot right now, by the way. They are currently in 12th place, looking to try to breach into that top 10 for 20 points for tomorrow.
A bit of a fall from grace. I said it. They were in 3rd place after match number 1, but I'm gonna commend them, right? They have been able to stay together as a team, but right now it's just Juki's on the map. FIFA Kill loses that Gulag to Tap, who, well, they were just fighting, and then you see Lenin go straight to the Gulag because one more member of that squad took them out. But back to Industrial we go, and the fight of the time, you said it. How many times are this 2 trios gonna run straight into each other? Soka at the top, kind of perched in a little Falcon's nest of his own.
This is such a funny fight to me because Biffle is scared of no man, no person, nobody on the map. Except for maybe this team. I was talking to Repulse, you heard him on the analyst desk, he said, I don't know what it is about this team. They always seem to get me. We'll see if they get him this time around. Hisoka has taken quite literally ultimate high in the area and has great viewpoint and will have great comp to help out his teammates. Maybe we'll have an angle as well. We'll see. This fight could take a little while, but it looks like Gooey and Co are going to try to push the equation. Maybe sending one out around actually with a zip. Try to play a flanking spot.
Shifty already opened it up. He's got Clabs in, and that's a full wipe there for Juki's squad. That's quite unfortunate. And now FLS takes that ultimate high ground, and you can see he's going to be looking to call the shots, but Biffle and Shifty, a dynamic duo in their own right, kind of trying to go on out, while Soka is like, don't worry guys, I'll find FLS. We know exactly where he is. Now how do we rip him off this high ground? And when Soka sets something in his sights, you know he's gonna get it.
Bro, leave him. I mean, just leave him up there. You got Gooey in your sights, pick up the 2v1, down goes Gooey. Maybe, I think it actually might have been a thermite through the window that it picks up Gooey. That's exactly what it is. Goes down. FLS also gets cleaned up. Soka found an angle and executed on it. Looks like the thorn in their side is a thorn no longer. Snap it off, send it home, and then go on your merry way. There's nobody else on their side of Popov. A couple people trying to rotate in, and a couple folks to the south. But we have to move down all the way to the south-hand side of this map. You can't go any further south, mostly southeast, than this squad. They're on an island right now because they just won a couple team fights. Team Destroy in a decent spot right now if they can find a clean path to New. But looking at New, it's across the water. It is Popov, it is Levin, and you have a long way to go.
And this is why I'm so thankful that Omit EU recognized it based off the plane, right? When you see that plane line, you can call it. Now they're sitting for free towards that end game, and the only real threat to them is going to be Falcons when they decide to rotate based on those pools. But Falcons, they in Industrial, they don't want to commit to that just yet because think of all the teams still trying to rotate on in. You turn towards Cargo on that southern side, they've got a long walk to go, and this one's been trying to make their way as they cross that water towards the eastern side of Popov. A couple of teams still in the nearby area for them.
Yeah, again, I want to draw your eyes up to the team Tiff's been talking about, Omit EU in the red one at the top north side of the map. They love this building. They've done this 100 times, it seems like. They changed up their drop spot on these circles. But Team Aiden doing the opposite side of that, hunting edge of zone yet again and getting paid for it. Several kills going their way right now, but Team Panda in their sights. Again, the jockeying between 2nd and 5th almost doesn't matter. It's about protecting your position in the top 5 unless somehow you can close a 40-point gap on the Falcons.
I mean, look, if you've already breached triple digits like Team Aiden has, this is the start that you needed going into tomorrow to say, okay, look, this is what we're able to do. We focused on the wins. We were being able to do that. Get your rotations in, find the eliminations, because it's going to be kind of that frenzy to get to 150 tomorrow, and a challenger has arrived. It's going to be Cloud9 have made their way into the kind of midst of Omit EU.
Yeah, this is a big moment for Cloud9. I mean, if they could get a nice high ground position, a power position, win condition potentially in their sights, they might actually have a good game and breach some extra points for tomorrow. Right now, Community doing Community things, picking up several eliminations along the way, making this look easy. That's one going down for this squad. A full team of 3, though, on the other side of them they know that, and they're going to continue to run and move to new. This is a massive rotation, by the way, for Community. It's worth mentioning they were way down in City, and now they're on the north side joining the likes of Omit EU.
And they're just kind of spectating here, right? They're biding their time, trigger discipline. We're not going to extend out until we absolutely need to. The likelihood of, well, Scummin and them fighting Cloud9 would be more, but then here comes Destroy. Well-needed eliminations for them to kind of boost that score, maybe into the top 15 and even top 10 if they have an absolute banger. But Scummin on 4 is already looking for angles, but it's Dongy who finds the opening.
Today, at least right now, this is the wrong team to fight. Community is moving in final form, and sure, Destroy gets back on his feet, but immediately cut back down as Dongy, one of our kill leaders today, continuing to find eliminations, nearly 2,000 damage as well, so likely sharing some kills. We are going to do a quick listen in with this Community team and see why this team is succeeding today.
We have a buy. I got a 4 buy.
Go gassies, go gassies.
I'm going to do a 4 by 2.
I have a 4 by also.
I still need plates. I don't have, I'm looting. I got some.
You have 8 plates.
Yeah, I'm good. Durable here too if you need it.
Yeah, I need.
These guys are fighting hello over here. Try to shoot out all the balloons so we don't get ballooned on.
Landing.
Where's he at?
No life thing.
Comes cracked. Super low.
Another one there too. Another one on the right side here.
I'm trying to take space to make sure we don't get creeped up on, but like don't try to get like don't be so low though. Wait, on the wall, close,
Yeah.
right.
Close, sniping, crack one, flash, one shot.
3, it's 3.
Yeah. I bunkered. I can't bunker.
They're in that check.
They're in the
here.
One
shot down, I'm pushing it. I'll plug up.
Wait for us. I have thermite close. Yeah, one's close to me. He's one shot in the right corner.
Cracked.
Nice, down.
Another one on me, outer.
Heard you.
Playing for it.
Slipping.
In front of me, the shack on me.
I'll put on the backside. The one's in the
He went in the house. He might be in the 2-story.
Yeah, I'm plating.
He's in the 2-story. I just heard
you
him.
both pulls?
All right, I'm going.
On me.
Coming.
Running left. On my bottom of me.
Just leave him. Do not chase.
Okay.
What do you mean? It's only one. It's bottom here.
Coming.
Crack.
Got him.
I got smokes. Here. You're good. Tap him.
Another buy here.
Bunker, close.
Heard it.
Yeah, on me.
Fucking.
I was going to talk about a couple more C's clear communication, but at the end of the day, the Falcons come in and spoil that. We lose one. We do sneak into the gulag at the last second, but unfortunately, Community getting obliterated by the Falcons. Dongy, heroic play, picks up Biffle on the run, but gets cleaned up finally. Gets a little bit of blood, but unfortunately, Community, a perfect team fight.
Okay, Shifty. We see it.
They know what to say, and they know how to communicate to an audience like this.
Oh, you know, it's fine. Throw some smokes, waste the ammo. You've got resources, right? We know you walk out of pop-off with a ton of money there. But honestly, they were if that was the timing that Community needed, they still had some players in the gulag. The worst that's going to come for them is that reset with 19 squads still up and a large majority of our teams still setting their sights towards the north here. Is this going to be this Vegas Inferno roster from Levin on that ultimate high ground, looking down from above, deciding where do we want to go? And it's been Echo through the south, making their play through Outpost.
Yeah, such a cool moment. Also, that Community team, by the way, they wiped one of the mainstay competition that was right behind them. 8th place could have maybe breached that top 5, so a big take. And speaking of a big take, Aiden squad crushing their opponents here in Popov, rotating from the eastern side to the west, trying to catch up with the rest of these folks. And again, Omit EU in the best position right now because they know they don't need kills. They just got to maintain their position in the top 5, and Multiplier certainly can do that if they can pick up kills in the in-game.
And here's why this is so important for Team Aiden. We've been talking about their consistency throughout the past couple of weeks and their growth, similar to Team Echo here, but those advanced starting points of 30. We always say, you know, if maybe they could just get a little bit closer to 150 before the Falcons do, and this gives them the grounds to kind of level it all out tomorrow.
Yeah, this is a big moment, by the way, for FaZe on the right-hand side. They don't know that Prodigy is here. This is brutal. FaZe is in 10th place right now, but Swag is shooting straight. Adrian falls, and it does look like FaZe is cleaned up by Prodigy and Oki. What a take with Biffle staring down at them, waiting to take those instead. That's going to be tough. FaZe might have done enough to maintain top 10, but they very likely could drop down out of top 10 and lose points for it. These are the margins we're talking about. They're so razor thin if you're outside the top 5.
Well, now Oki's going to have to look for a regain, get the squad back on out, and well, Shifty's still looking for some more action because what he had was not enough. They want to prove on that 44-point game. They want to set records here. The cementing of Dynasty begins now, especially after you've wiped Oki's squad. Team Echo, that 5th place roster has fallen, but can someone breach that points disparity between 6th and 5th?
I don't know. It would take a pretty monster effort. I mean, it's a 25-point margin from 5th to 6th. That 6th place team, by the way.
It was FaZe.
Yeah, they are not there, not right now. So we'll see what they're able to do. I think those points are being tallied right now, too, so there's a chance maybe they'll drop outside top 10. I don't know. There's a lot of question marks. We're going to let the admin do the math as Grom hits 1 and gets the cleanup. That's Panda falling. That's a full wipe on Panda. We're top 15, and as expected, Omit EU. Not a ton of kills, but in the best position, at least for now, as we head back to the Falcons, who are continuing to make statement after statement to say, well, I don't have to repeat it. Shifty said it for me. We know what he's going to say.
I mean, look, he's got a lot to say, and at least he says it with his chest, and at least he backs it on up here on the main stage, on land here in Las Vegas. But Omit NA, they do have one player last standing that was just trying to kind of salvage some things. They're in 18th place, and for the Vegas Inferno, they need a good multiplier to let some of these eliminations do work. And, well, they've got 2 squads just kind of towards the outside of them, Destroy being one of them, and another squad wipe for the Falcons.
Vegas Inferno on your screen. Looking to take down our wildcard team. Nick Cool Squad had an early start to this tourney and comes swinging in, all 3 alive. Lose one maybe in the process, we'll see, but a cleanup nonetheless. Vegas Inferno fallen 14th. Decent map potentially, but the question is how many kills? Again, every team tallying their kills, every team doing the math. How many points do we have for tomorrow? What are the changes? And right now, it looks like Team Super Evan says, I'm a bush Wookie, my man. I'm just last into top 10. I need that multiplier. We've got some kills to make it count.
Well, this squad is currently sitting in 21st place on the leaderboard, 50.6, and that's why this is so vital, right? You want to get into those advanced starting points that are even more, but Waldo, what a game here. Colony 2K and Nick Cool probably fully eliminated here, but let's get that higher multiplier like you were talking about. We've entered the 1.6x multi. The best you can do now is maybe a top 5 and even then a win.
Yeah, this team is actually in a prime position to steal away a lot of points. Waldo's on 8. I think Colony's on at least 5. This is like a 15-kill game with multipliers. They've made top 10. A great game for a wildcard team to snack some points away, snack on them some tortilla chips. Why not? Let's pick up Autorize in transition. This is one of the teams that's right behind you and maybe right in front of you, depending on how many kills they have. Every single point matters. Find him, Waldo. We found you, but can you find Autorize?
Oh, well, keep your eye. I think Huskers is last standing for his roster. Off screen as Brawlic falls as well. Goodbye, Autorize. I think Super Evan still in that bush, kind of dead center of zone, looking for some more multis. Look to your right-hand side of your screen. Tapulator, Johnny Bro, and Strixie. Well, look who came to play. It's Deus Amir, Z-Dark, and Castillo still trying to wipe that area, but they're on the low ground towards the Falcons here. And Shifty is keeping them in their sights, and we are just firing. Huskers from behind, though, could maybe steal one away and grab an elimination, but I think the Falcons are just going to look to clean it up for now.
Team 8 is still in it as well. Fastball special is going to help them out. DJ's able to take down 1 and a second with that thermite. Trying to find the body. Where is it? Nowhere to be found. They're down below And so they're not going to get the cleanup, not yet, but they're in the zone, so you don't have to push out, not right now. Omit EU up here as well. The top 3 teams stay on top. Top 3 teams in the final 7 in this map. They're here for a reason. They defended their title. They're going to be walking away with a ton of points, but who's going to win this fight? Will we get some revenge for the side of Omit EU? It's not looking likely.
Grommelot down, and we're just trying to get angles here on the Falcons. The preemptive rotate here for that circle, it's going to cost you, but I would love to see, do we get this res on Grommelot? I think we actually do. Back up on their feet. Now we get the reset because the Falcons are still focused on picking up eliminations. They've set their sights actually on Team Aiden.
Omit EU. Always good about their rotations, always good about making plays, but just not good enough. Not when you got Shifty sliding in from behind, picking up another elimination. A quick cleanup here, and Omit EU is going to be out of it. The Falcons are poised to take another one, potentially. A couple body shots, but he knows the job's not done, so we got to keep moving on our merry way. Team Aiden all the way down in the gutters, going to have to make a massive rotation. They're pulling one out of the Falcons playbook as we see Revenge Tour back into the mix, into the top 3. Maybe can we end it like we started it? Maybe not this time. Slide, B-Mark, see you later. We're down to the final 2 teams, and the 2 teams on top. Team Aiden coming in with 2 this time. Will the Falcons win it all here, Tiff? I can only expect they will, but job not done as this zone is set up. Either team could take it. Biffle on the flank. We'll see.
Look, we've seen this before, right? Just think of last match, but Shifty opens it up. There goes DJ Moss. Aiden down, and it's looking like the Falcons are about to convert this one.
An absolute Herculean effort would be for Z-Smith to win this. A 1v2. Was able to clean up one. Z-Smith is a straight shooter.
Here comes Biffle.
Biffle's on 13 kills and makes it look easy. Tiff, we talk about it. We flipped the coin. They've won 50% of our games today in day 1. Trios is done for the day, and there is no question in our minds that at least today they are the best team here. Way out on top by a massive margin.
The silent assassin himself, Biffle, steps forward, finds Z-Smith, but it's still consistent. And I'm honestly really digging that the majority of the floor here in the arena are Falcons fans, right? The family front and center celebrating. The 50% win rate is right. This is why they are so scary, working on kind of finishing out that dynasty. And I really wonder if they win tomorrow, which they likely will.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, look, they likely will. I hate glazing them so much. I get sick of talking about the Falcons at points in times, but I can't not talk about
you've got anything down here. It's rowdy on the floor. Ahsoka, I got the full Falcons bingo card. I got all of you guys. Your 3 big wins today, man. Congrats on that. Top spot secured.
Yes, sir. Feels good. Feels great. We started off slow.
Secured.
I'm sure all the competitors thought they had a chance.
¿Choca? Han hecho a Shifty, a Biffle y a la Hisoka.
Yes, sir. Feels good. Feels great. We started off slow. I'm sure all the competitors thought they had a chance. We started winning 3 games in a row. I know they're gonna go to sleep like, damn, we...
Dice Hisoka, hemos empezado lentos. Los competidores, los enemigos pensaban que tenían alguna oportunidad, pero ya han visto que no.
Anything that's come out of today that was maybe a surprise for you guys, something you planned for that didn't work out? Was there anything in the game plan that wasn't there?
Nah, nothing in the game plan. I know, like, on land, kids will be nervous. Aiden was talking that smack to Biffle, but we just ran him, so he needs to watch his mouth. Shout out Biffle gang, baby, come on.
Dice, he visto que Aidan estaba hablando de Biffle, pero acabamos de papearnos al equipo de Aidan, así que Aidan debería de lavarse la boca con jabón.
Maybe hit the club, you never know, hit casino or something, so we'll see.
Anything you want to say to the crowd here? Everyone watching.
Creo que ha hecho que va a gastar el dinero en casino o algo así.
I love you guys, my family. I appreciate you guys. Tease up all that, man. Come on, Falcons, baby.
Aquí pues Hisoka dando pues las gracias a su familia que está en el público, al equipo de Falcons y demás. Tal y como estaba jugando el equipo de Huskers últimamente, un top 13 casi que lo firmaban antes de empezar. El equipo de FIFA que el top 19, y ya por aquí poco más que comentar. El equipo de Almond top 22, el equipo de Bredman y Javi que lo hemos comentado, el equipo de Panda también. Y luego la decepción del equipo de Noobs, que van a tener que remontar y cambiar su chip, su mentalidad para mañana de una forma brutal. Así que, gente, así queda la clasificación. Bueno, más que la clasificación, así quedan los puntos de ventaja, podríamos decir, ¿vale? Porque recuerdo que así son los puntos de ventaja para mañana. Así que mañana el equipo de Biffle va a empezar con 40 puntos. Del top 2 al top 5 con 30, del top 6 al top 10 con 20, del top 11 al top 20 con 15, del top 21 al top 30 con 10, del top 31 al top 35 con 5 y del top 36 al top 40 con 0 puntos. Así que mañana es el día importante, porque mañana es donde se va a repartir 950.000 dólares en la gran final en formato match point. Y como he dicho antes, solo cobra hasta el top 20, gente. Del top 21 al top 40 no se lleva nada. Así que muy importante, si quieres ganar dinero en este presencial, tienes que acabar dentro del top 20. Si no, te vas a casa con las manos vacías. Pero esto es mañana. Formato match point a 150 puntos. Vale, dejadme ver por aquí, gente.
Between the community and between like the culture of the scene and the players and whatnot, and it all feels very close. Like it makes everybody feel like they're all a part of it. So even for those of you at home who aren't here with us in Las Vegas, you know, you can actually like feel like you're really a part of the tournament, the competition, and you really get to kind of like go along for the ride with whomever your favorite player is, because you know you choose whose stream you want to watch. And yeah, I think that's really cool, because I just think that for a lot of these players who are so used to, you know, really delving into that content side of things, and they do a lot of streaming as well, the fact that the biggest thing in their career, this event, also gets to be a part of that, is a really important part of the culture.
All right, so from what I'm hearing, about 15 minutes until we get into, I'm joking. Come on, let's get into Solo Yolo right now. I'm ready to get it going. Who's gonna earn $50,000? Let's send it over to our casters, Spider Tiff, and Goes.
Wow, what a great segment talking about the Solo Yellow. You know what they didn't ask is who we were going for, Tiff. So I have one word for everybody out there. I'm a bandwagon fan. I think we all know it. I never like to be wrong. So I am repping the bread today, all right? It's Breadman all day, Cloud9 till I die. I'm not biased. Or wait, yes, I am.
Hey, look, you gotta love it. And as soon as I saw Bread tweet this out, he was like, look, Lola cooked. Let me tell you about this shirt. And can we like just see how many different iterations of Bread are on this shirt? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look, I can't count very well, but there we go. Now we just need a little bit of maybe some Ringo involved in that. You know, one of those cats.
I mean, give me some cats. Give me 5 breads. Why not? I can name all different types of breads because he's going to win this, no questions asked. Artisan, whole wheat, white.
Sourdough. Sure. Yeah, just keep going there.
Gouda.
But let's be real, because we've got a Solo Yolo, $50,000 on the line. Anything goes. We're going to see White Shields. We're going to see Chaos. We're going to see a bloodbath. But who's going to take it all? Let's find out.
Solo y se vale todo. El chiste es ganar.
Well, good evening, Vegas, and good evening, Urzikstan. We're going to be starting with Breadman. Thank you, production. Thank you very much. Folks, we're going to be taking a look at all the streamer POVs because they've got beautiful faces. They're probably talking to their chats. And, well, it's solos. We don't care about a team because there isn't one. You alone, you are on an island, and frankly, you've got a lot to prove and a ton to earn. And already, it looks like Otterize is getting into the mix and taking down Aiden, sitting into the gulag.
Wow, man. You remember, like, some of the content we put out, and we were talking about the Solo Yolo in particular. It was Aiden who said, I'm kind of owed one at this point. Second to Scump back in 2021 and E700 on the other side. Do or die.
Every gulag matters. This is do or die. And Aiden, nice shots down lane. Both players' shields cracked. Where do you go from here? He's going to push the equation. Aiden gets the gunfight, and Aiden wins the gunfight. What did I say earlier? You go to the gulag against Aiden, it's not a good time.
I mean, E700 down and out. No 50K for you. We're already to 117. And well, Otterize spectating here. King AJ still in the mix, coming back from the gulag. And I almost feel like I can see the pain in his eyes from that.
Yeah, Otter, I think, got killed off rip and then lost gulag. I'm not sure, but unfortunately out. Now, we go to the King, the player at the top. Obviously, the Falcons just won by 80-some-odd points in day one. This is the most earned Warzone player of all time, and he's done it in an unbelievable fashion. Will he retire? Maybe if he wins this 50K, he'll say, yeah, I'm done. See you later.
Look, hear me out. I was seeing some tweets on the timeline, and, well, Shifty himself said, hey, if I win this, I'm going to go drop 50K on Black.
Okay. All right, Shifty. Hold your horses, my man. That's a lot of money. All right. I mean, you do you. We'll see. Biffle's talking, saying, okay, we're in pop-up maybe, or maybe there's people in pop-up.
Oh, here we are.
All right, Shifty. Look, it would be pretty interesting to see, you know, the Falcons win day one, one of them win the solo YOLO, and then win tomorrow as well. I mean, talk about inevitable. Jeez.
I always feel like somebody's watching me, and when you've got a precision airstrike and we're actually doubling down, using it as binoculars, just lurking, not shooting, not want to give your positions away, and well, the LTV incoming. Please tell me that that's not Biffle, right? We saw him kind of lurking amongst.
True. It could be. I'm not really sure. I'm just here for a good time and a long time.
Pero
I'm going to be honest. The only thing that matters right now is that, well, we've lost, it looks like 10 players out of this lobby. And gulags are going to be key. And otherwise, none of these kills matter. It's about setting yourself up for the in-game. We can talk strategy all day long, but there's going to be a crazy amount of players alive in this in-game. And I think my question is, what circle will we get? If it's city, it's going to be nuts. If it's wide out in the open, it might not be as chaotic, and vehicles will be key.
Well, down into the bunker we go. You can see that red outline on the mini-map. That means we're popping up on a UAV, and, well, we're spotted there, and that's kind of unfortunate, right? Constantly having that influx of pressure, but this is where you've got to ice it up. And, hey, you talked a lot of game earlier in the trios, but now you got to stand on it in the solos.
I mean, if he's been doing anything today, he's certainly been standing on business, so
100%.
I'm sure he is not afraid of this fight. We're going to take his time. We'll take our time, checking out all the POVs that we can. Everybody's important, but the Falcons, of course, on top, getting cut down from behind. It looks like multiple players actually shooting at him, but you're right, it's Vision cutting him down. A little bit too much gas there. Uh-oh, we got noobs on the other side?
That's a formidable foe.
I'm scared. This is you.
I honestly am kind of nervous for him. Now, we have to think about this, right? Noobs is going to want that 50K. Shifty opens it up with a nice shield crack there, and that connects as well. The Molly to let it burn. Salt in the wound. Shifty back to Urzik stand we go. Now, you know, the one prediction I actually didn't get to give out, and I talked a lot about it. I thought Bredman yesterday at dinner. I was saying DJ Moss during the earlier series, but then I remembered something. Think back to last year. Skullface does win, right?
Right.
Do you remember that initial gulag? There was a man named Sage, who's currently on our stage, that gifted a gulag to him, to a lot of controversy in the Copper Box Arena.
Vergas, perdí esa puerta, por amor de Dios. No tiene seguro esta mierda, güey. Mamabicho, este mamabicho, güey. La neta es listo, güey. Un mamabicho muy... ¿Qué hace ese mamabicho ahí, güey? Me dispara, güey, para que el loadout de él, yo me vaya y su loadout no caiga conmigo, güey. Entonces, buena, pero pues soy más inteligente yo, ¿sabes? Que vergas creo, güey. Entonces lo voy a jugar a él, porque cuando caiga el loadout, yo tengo un carro y este mamabicho no, entonces yo llego antes, güey. ¿Dónde cayó? En la merda puta calle, güey. No me folles, güey. No me folles, güey. No me folles, güey. Dale, güey. Chingas a tu puta madre, Loro. Al chile, güey. Vete mucho a la verga. Me interesa ver si ese mamabicho, güey, entró, güey. Según yo sí entró, güey. No, gente, al parecer el otro vato era un genio, güey. Ellos también, pero o sea, todavía más, cabrón. La play igual de ese. Una portátil, güey. Hace falta videito. Aquí con
bueno. Se le va a ir el drone encima y...
Dale pinche cerdo. O sea, ¿por qué me tiró una termita, sabes? Porque, o sea, ¿qué ganaste? Más que nada son faxes. Mira, aquí alguien va a estar campeando esto probablemente. Okay. Entonces, ¿cuál es la jugada, güey? Nos vamos, imbécil, güey. Una machazo, güey. Ya me dejó bien ponchado mi carrito, güey. Si el carrito lleva, verga. Toda la partida, toda la estrategia te basa sobre mi carro. Entonces, o sea, probablemente viene la gasolinera, güey. Va por el costo, está más barata aquí. 18 litros, güey. A la verga, güey. A mí macanazos, güey, a la verga. Eso es lo que te digo, ¿sabes? O sea, esa gente, güey, sabe jugar esto porque ¿qué ganó el dispararme, güey? Que me fuera, yo no soy una amenaza para él, ¿sabes? Yo no estoy jugando a hacerle daño, güey, ni nada. Me lo van a ponchar, gente, la puta madre. No tardan en eso. Ya se les se queda aquí, güey, queriendo matarme, güey, queriendo chingar el carro de eso. Ahí le pendeja, no tanto. Sano de haber gastado un poco por esto. Tengo un fusil, un trophy, algo bien. Guacha, güey, no tengo todas las placas, todo esto, güey. Si hay un imbécil snipeando, me tumba, güey, un vergazo. Ah, no, pues como quiera me tumban. ¿Cuál es la play, gente? Vamos a buscar una gasolinera. Voy a darle un último intento a esta, güey, a ver si no hay miedo. Guacha, la neta, güey, no necesito ni 1000 horas, güey. Si yo cuido mi lado, llegamos ahí con esto. Todo bien allí. ¿Qué quiero, gente? La neta quiero buenas armas, ¿no? Quiero un cero. Quiero más eso que mi carro. No.
Algún loquito con un buen sniper y
puede cargar, güey. Esa madre es como el agua, güey. Para cargar los botes, pero creo que los carros pueden cargar ahí. Este verga como que viene de ahí, güey. Que cargó, le puso gas, peló, güey. Esta tío. Que te haya algún término que nada, me parece que es importante. Se llama simbiosis. Cuando dos especies diferentes conviven en un mismo ambiente para generar beneficio mutuo. Este vato de aquí, güey, que ni conta, güey. Hasta que nomás quedemos él y yo, güey, en la puta partida, somos compas, güey. Ya después, ya veremos, voy a meter el bien. Pero ahorita, mira, de que es por turno. Yo voy. Ahorita va a ir él, güey. Todo bien, o sea. Algo ven, déjamelo hago. Quítale culo, quítale. Tampoco somos defis. Una buena relación ahí política. Mira. ¿Cuál es la fucking PlayStation 3 aquí? Oh my god, no sé qué hacer. O sea, para mí, la neta, no necesita nada más que mi blindado. No necesita blindado. Yo me bajo, güey.
Now, I will say a lot of these players will start figuring out where they need to go. This is the player, of course, they're going to have to run into if they try to rotate over here. One thing is for certain, a couple of UAVs could maybe rat him out potentially. I think a couple people already know he's up here. He's going to have to fight off the hordes. I mean, it's going to look like zombies here in a little bit. He's got a riot shield just in case. And there's going to be everybody trying to swarm to this building once they figure out what the end zone will be.
The bunker buster going on and a 1v1 over the buy station, but Biffle on the move. Can't be too cautious, right? This has got to be one of the most nerve-wracking things, hitting that rotate. We spot one off, jumping off the rooftop over by that building. And well, I like that we're hugging this bridge side. You see them on the roof, but how do we close the gap? We don't have any smokes currently equipped, and maybe not in the backpack right now, but we do have 2 thermites and a precision airstrike, and we are just going to snake our way over.
Yeah, I think, though, we're watching. Biffle doesn't have nerfs. Those don't exist for this man. Most well-earned player, most earned player in history, best player ever on paper. He's getting pushed, and so he decides to mortar and ward off this LTV. Again, based on that in-zone tiff, I mean, we have a moment here. Efficacy of vehicles, maybe not as much as we expected. I think a lot of these folks are thinking about taking vehicles to the end circle, but with the zone that they have, there are some buildings in the area. Might help them for the final circle. We'll see.
Just kind of keeping your eyes is out, and we decide maybe we don't want to push towards that side.
Cooked.
Yeah, we are looking a little cooked. Okay, so we confirm none in the backpack. We are cooked.
Up not running restock.
Biffle is talking bad about restock and solo.
He's got cold-blooded though. I mean, look, you see Bird's Eye, cold-blooded. I can't see too much behind the name, but clearly no restock.
Oh, hello.
Well, someone looking to mirror that rotation, dancing around, resolute to try and keep him alive, but that's a knock if I've ever seen one. Hopefully, you've got Gulag left on the other side.
There's the cleanup.
Sorry,
nice
bro.
wipe.
At least he apologizes. Does he actually mean it though?
You don't need kills. Yeah. See you in the end game. Slowly but surely, we'll see if the tortoise or the hare wins this race. Who's there first, who's there last? Could go either direction at this point, but Biffle on the edge of zone, looking for a couple more pieces of prey out in the distance and not finding anybody else. Biding his time, so we're gonna check out Zeppa back on high ground. Back in a great spot, apparently spotting a couple down below.
He will need to rotate just a little bit, but honestly, where we saw that on foresight, it shores up right around this area. And with that big game bounty, you know, being disappeared from it, it's crazy because he's currently on 5 eliminations. Gio on the desk was like, no, I want to see someone that has fragged their way.
Aiden's back. Wait, it's Aiden
against Youngsters
versus Young? Oh, these guys used to be friends.
Here, okay, look, he goes, Aiden's going to play fast. I can already tell. And this is the same peak that everyone's taken on Aiden.
I'm sure they still are friends, by the way, but not right now. Aiden pushed the
Se acabó para Aiden.
Aiden back to the gulag. This time finally loses.
I forgot, chat. Don't back out because we might get jailbreak.
That is, wow.
Oh.
Five head, big brain. Aiden says we might get jailbreak. I don't know if there's anybody back there that can pull the strings. I'm in for a jailbreak. I don't know if the audience is, but I am in for a jailbreak.
I do love a little bit of a chaotic ending. Think of it, maybe Circle 7. Everyone sees an influx. We already know where it's going thanks to some of the players having foresight, but Youngsta's back feet on the ground, recoups the STG, and it's really interesting to see kind of the different iterations of what players have kind of cooked up to use here in this solo YOLO. I couldn't even imagine winning $50,000 from one game.
Yeah, well, to the action we go because, as expected, the zombie hordes are here. Foreign Jace gets cut down. I believe it's a mortar from distance. Maybe Jace's, maybe somebody else's. It's able to take down Zeppa. He does have a self-revive. You called it. Resource management. Everything's okay if you're
There's
Zeppa.
Another one.
And has another one based on his opponent giving him a freebie. So thank you, Jace. We appreciate you. Zeppa has 8 eliminations, by the way. Easily will go up into double digits in this map, I can only assume, because everybody wants this building and any other building in zone going into 4th and 5th. Also, eyes on the top left-hand corner of your screen as people fly in. This gulag is closing shortly. This map's about to get a whole lot more dicey.
Okay, good. We saw Gromalok, the randomizer, picked Grom to win, and unfortunately down and out. Maybe able to just snake into the gulag if they had that token available to them. But for now, all eyes on Zeppa, just reaping the area of the lobby. Time is of the essence, though, and I'd be really curious to see if is anyone else going to make a play for it. We're just going to dive right on over, not connecting any shots. That's fine. It's kind of quite windy in Urzikstan today.
I mean, at this point, if you're in the area, you know Zeppa's out here, and the problem is it's really hard to jump on him when you're the only player on your team. Now, go to Almond. I'm not sure, but also a rat in this moment, biding his time. Again, this is the Falcons Mina squad with Almond. Fnatic might not be here, but they might be here in spirit. If Almond can get this win, and LTV rolling up on him is not a great sign, and several vehicles in the area.
Look, I want an open end game, and obviously we're not going to get it, because you imagine how many vehicles just kind of lock it on in, but to just come in as a sub for a roster and then maybe potentially snake away a win in the solo YOLO, that's a story in itself.
Yeah, we take those. We take those if we're Almond. We'll see, though. A lot of ground to make up. Now, folks, the gulag is officially closed. This is where it's going to get real weird real quick. We still have 63 players remaining. Frankly, that's a hair less than I expected at this point. But based on this zone, there's a decent amount of cover on the fringes of it. The center, though, is that stadium. It's that soccer pitch or football pitch. Wherever you're from, I don't care. There's a big field there out in the open. You don't want to be there. You want to be on the edges of it.
I just love how we're back to seeing like thermals, because you know all of the smokes towards the end game.
Yeah.
You want to be able to see. No smokes in the pocket for him though, and we just have to be a bit more casualties on the screen. We already saw Gromalok have some issues earlier, but maybe he needs to clutch it up.
Playing edge of zone as well, looking for maybe a bit of high ground for some info. As per the usual, information is key. Right now, no UAVs to spare and no recon drones either. So this is going to be a tough rotate in. with 55 people still in this lobby, but that number is dwindling drastically with this gulag closed.
I think they're all sitting in a Discord chat together and kind of talking about each other, because I don't see Heats' mouth moving. This is not the comms. We are locked in. We are making that rotation go forward here. And look, here, just now clear it on out. Shut the door. I didn't realize the haunting of Precencial had already occurred. And goodbye, 4 and Jace. The read on that.
Wow, all right, Heats. He's already pulled some clutch moments. That's another one to add to his book. That's 4 kills, by the way. Not that it matters, but fun little stat. LTV behind. And again, we know the end zone. It's basically right where Zeppa is. Heeds is have to circle around probably to the left side, the western side of this zone to swing around potentially.
He's got some audio cues. You know someone's nearby. And when we keep on over, Allman still here trying to play off. It's his enemy dropping in, and they are so close to each other that I could only imagine they will run into each other.
Yeah, kind of on opposite sides of this one at this point. Maybe Allman swings this direction. I don't think so, though. If anything, Heeds might go that direction. We'll see. He's going to try to rotate here. Again, footsteps and everything. We're already down to 36 players, folks. We just lost 20 players in the blink of an eye. There's still a ton on the map. A lot of bridge trolls. The trolls are out. And they're actually not on the bridge. It's actually the building across, picking up Heeds in transition. Heeds is out of here. No gulags to write home about, but Allman is still lying in wait.
Giuseppe finished out in 35th, and well, 34 players, and every player that falls out. The fact is we're about to be in the final 30, and well, there goes those inevitable. Oh my God, we're bringing those out. It's been a minute since I've even seen people try to
I don't even know what you're looking at.
Oh my God, they're not even breaking out C4. We're getting utility and killed by StukeX.
StukeX takes down Biffle. Biffle's out. The last remaining member of the Falcons is Hisoka. Moving into center circle here shortly, and I don't hate Hisoka's position. We'll play around this bridge for a little while here, but we know the zone's going to pull a hair off of it, so we'll have to push this building next to him. He knows Zeppa's on top of it, and knows there's likely about 7 people in the mix in that. A big layer cake he's going to be jumping into here shortly, as now 20 players remaining on this map. Hisoka has one in his sights, but can't give away his position, can't get shot in the corner. Here's one down below as well. There's people all over the place.
Oh, he's on Dark Knight Demon time here. I mean, look, we only see the forehead cam. He's got the shots coming in. Our information has been given, but with restock, you keep resupplying, and we've got the 2 smokes. We've got the incendiaries. It's going to be brutal, and that trophy system will do wonders for the player across the way, but when you give, you take, and now we got to get away from this position.
Again, the Falcons certainly inevitable as a team. Could one of them pull out this solo YOLO? Hisoka in a bit of trouble. He's going to PA his opponent. Doesn't connect, but it runs him out of that position. Cleans up a trophy likely. Where do you go from here? You know the building, the only building in zone, and you know that there's a player on, at least on every floor, if not multiple. He's going to make the move here. Where is... Oh, one on the bridge still. The player didn't leave, not fully, just barely out of the mix, and that PA is a hair shallow, but it could go over the top. Hisoka in trouble. Does have a hair cover. Dang.
And Shoka is down and out.
About to be in the
top 10, still on this rooftop, now into the double-digit eliminations. This is crazy. Did not have foresight originally, at least for the current timing. Maybe he grabbed foresight and had it before the gulag and was able to get that information, wins it later, comes flying back on in, and has just claimed this space. But you've got to get through the streaks, right? A lot of people, they're going to throw mortars, they're going to throw bunker busters, they're going to do exactly what they can, but a 1 in 7 chance to take home $50,000 is crazy.
Here we go. Unfortunately, 120th place and 2nd place get the same amount of money. So you've gotten this far, you made it to top 10. You still have a tall task ahead of you. Pick out a couple in transition. Well done. Flank makes it to top 10 and probably no much further, but a PA on his head. Zeb is able to rat out to the right-hand side of it just a little bit. What I'm curious about is, does he have PDSs in his pocket? We know the zone's gonna actually pull a hair back, I believe. Jackal getting cut down from that Huskers team.
We're not getting fools, though. We never fooled flanked.
You're right.
We never fooled Jackal. We're still 6, though, which means someone else is taking out players. Okay, there goes the full.
Top 5. Not that it matters. Just gotta win. Zeppa, you've done all the work thus far. What do you do now? PA on your head. Of course, you've got a gas mask you can play around with. It's not a durable, though. I don't think so. You don't have a ton of time.
Look, we're just yeeting thermobaric grenades, man. They burn. It's crazy, and we are saving our streaks to bring them on and out. I hear the coughs in. We've got to hit that mask done. And we've got to make the play. We've got to stay healthy here, and we're taking a lot of damage. We're going to be a glass cannon, but we get into the water.
Perfect execution. PA for the cover. You smoke and run. You get to the water. You have an angle. Does he know? He's one through the water. Doesn't get a big connect on it. Here, this zone's going to close. Wide out in space. 4 players remaining. Hollow being cut down. Hollow being eliminated. 3 players left. Zeppa has done all the work. He got here first. Can he finish the job? But PD has to try to get the other 2 players to fight each other. One also wrapping. Flank cut down. It is a 1v1. Zeppa, all of the legwork. Can you finish the job? Nearly out of resources. This is looking grim for Zeppa, who's not in zone. He's got to make a play. He's got to connect on the thermobaric tip.
Oh, but what if that was a one-way? And there it is. It's Nicole, your North American wildcard winner, and now your solo YOLO champ.
Are you kidding me? Nick Cool, with your back against the wall. You barely make it to this stage. You have to win just 1 game to get here. And then you just have to win 1 game to win $50,000? Nick Cool, my man, congratulations. That's unreal.
Without a doubt, comes in, sweeps it. Now that's a VOD review we want to see. The course of action that brings you there. And honestly, the moment we saw Zeppa behind that door, they start taking the pressure from Nick Cool, and then he kind of walks around, and even though Zeppa tries to smoke forward, it's Nick Cool who ends it all at the top. Celebrate there for Toronto Ultra.
Solo Yellow's the one place where the journey does not matter. It's only the destination. Unbelievable. Nick Cool.
Let's go!
We love the celebrations, man.
One, bro. We did it in the wild card and we did it in the fucking solo YOLO! Let's go! Holy shit.
Just wait till that adrenaline comes down. You're just like, oh my god, we took the wild
Y aquí tenemos la alegría de Nick Cool.
Every bit of Vegas worth it, man. That has got
Gente,
to feel.
de las pocas veces que veremos a un jugador de teclado y ratón ganar. Así que vamos a ver el final de partida repetido. Me gustaría verlo repetido, a ver qué tal lo ha hecho y a ver con cuántas kills ha acabado. Así que a ver si podemos verlo.
Solo Yellow here as a team in the wild card is just absolutely unreal. Nearly at a loss for words. Headed down to the stage. I believe Nick Cool's going to be collecting his check here shortly. My man repping Toronto Ultra. Proud of you, dog. I've had so much conversations with this kid. It's unreal that they got here. The roster mania, the team, Waldo, Colony, 2K, they put the team together at the last second to get to this stage. And then Nick Cool does it. Let's head down to the stage with Miles and Nick Cool to hear from our solo YOLO champion.
Well, as you would imagine, he's pretty excited after that one. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a big round of applause for Nick. Congratulations, our solo YOLO champion. How you doing, man?
Bro, unreal, man. Unreal. Like, my voice is gone, man. I'm gonna need a big weekend for tomorrow.
You got a big day. You've not just got a big day tomorrow, you've also got a very big check. We're gonna have it brought out in just a moment. But dude, how do you even describe what just happened?
I don't even know, man. I'm gonna have to rewatch that, you know, with the fam's in the background. My family's here, man. We're gonna rewatch that tonight. I don't even know what to say.
Well, you gotta find a place to put this as well. Congratulations once again, Nick. Your solo YOLO champion, $50,000 richer for not coming in second.
Just
All right, solo YOLO winner is in, and it is Nick Cool making it happen. And man, that has to feel so good. We got a lot of money on the desk, man, and a lot of money coming out for $50,000 for Nick Cool. Dantro, it's been a long day. Dantro talked to me as we are just throwing money around, literally $100 bills. You were losing your mind when Nick Cole won that 1v1 at the end.
So not only is Nick Cole a phenomenal player, he's also like actually a very good friend of mine. And to see him clutch that up, dude, whew, I'm just a fan of Warzone, man, and I love seeing him. And you heard him even say it in that celebration. They won the wild card.